He lives in the ocean between our bases. So,
Okay. Who is it?
you know, chicken farmer.
Hmm. Oh, I see him. Yeah, here, I'll whitelist him.
Yep.
This way, in case we ever get someone we don't know, I can go in and just turn it to whitelist.
Yeah.
By the way, did you know that Trends player skin, the magic cart, when you're doing the going onto the SM Picnic control panel of your server, it shows a head frame, like a straight on head frame of the said skin. So it's just a giant thing of what looks to be a woman's vagina.
No, I know. It does the same if you hold tab and look him in the player list.
Yeah.
Whenever he's on.
I'm gonna get on later on tonight and build something. I've got an itch. Apparently, if I'd stayed up till 2 a.m. last night, my the date that canceled on me yesterday would have wanted to come over. Because I wake up this morning at 5 and I'm like, oh, yo. Alright, I'm going through my phone. I'm like, I see a message from them. They're like, hey, I know it's 2 a.m. But, like, do you want to go get food now? And I'm like, who the fuck is up at 2 a.m. on a fucking Saturday? Do you not sleep? I mean, maybe I'm old. But, like, yo.
Probably woke up and wanted food.
Maybe. The best part is I messaged him at 5 a.m. Only about 3 hours, less than 3 hours later, because it was like 2:21 when they messaged me, and no response. And I'm like, alright, well, I see how it is.
They ate. They didn't want food anymore.
Yeah, right? It'd be like that. Oh, man. She's like, God damn it. Also, I am exhausted and stoned, so forewarning ahead of time. Ugh.
I mean, fair.
Yeah. Like I said, staying up late was fucking... Ugh. Been getting into that habit, but at the same time, it's been like, well, why not? I got nothing to do at work in the morning. Or anything. As long as I have a cup of coffee in the morning, I'm fine. Which I know it's terrible for you, but at the same time, you only get so many hours in a day, truly, so... Gotta do with what you can. Oh, man. Speaking of only a few hours in the day, how's your day going?
I mean, nothing special. Nothing on the weekends. Don't need a haircut yet, so I'm just kind of...
Still
played with characters today. Played with Create on the Minecraft server, because I have no idea how to do Create, so I'm learning.
There's a couple of good YouTubers that have done it if you want to go watch some playthroughs. Like some really big YouTubers who've done some tutorials.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I know how to set everything up now. I just, I need to learn how to get higher RPM from the power sources without making the really complicated power sources that have to constantly fuel, like the steam engines.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Because I would have to set up a whole pressing system and everything to make that, and I really don't feel like it.
Fair, no, that's fully fair. Trying to think if there's any easy ways to set it up. Like quickly going through everything.
I saw something online about adding soul sand to a water wheel to make it pull down harder.
Mm-hmm.
Make it go faster, so I'll see. Because the thing I need to make the alloy has like a minimum RPM requirement, unlike the crusher wheels.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I have to get the thing up to a minimum speed to get it to actually... Because I need it to make all the alloys.
You're gonna have to do so many of them. Yeah, it's not gonna be fun.
No, not at all.
Well, I mean it will, but it'll be a lot of work.
All of this for a crushing wheel.
Yeah, that's fully true.
I just want the power to turn crimsite into fucking iron. Among other things. Like break down horse armor and stuff.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's how life be, I guess. Oh, man. Let me see something. Okay. What? Alright, cool. I'm sending someone something stupid real quick because they asked me a question about something. you can't attach photos. No. Damn. Alright. But fair enough, doesn't sound like too bad of a day. I mean, I haven't checked it. I know the only person who messed around with Crate last time was Tren.
Well, messed around with. He's in the mod on server after server.
Yeah, but his, I've seen his Crate designs. They're kind of rudimentary at best.
Wait, he does the absolute bare minimum he has to.
Yeah. We'll be on in a few minutes to character issues. Alright. Oh. Yeah, that was the only thing. Surprisingly, he's not online right now. Although I don't even know if he's chilling or if he's just chilling in general in VC, just to hang out. Oh, he's playing Deep Rock, that's why.
I saw him on Deep Rock earlier.
Oh, Wolf's playing Deep Rock.
That's probably why he's on Deep Rock.
I don't know how Wolf's playing Deep Rock. I thought he was still at the show today.
I mean, either he's already back or he just left his thing running.
No, I think he came back. Yeah, it makes sense, but it must have maybe when it came back this morning.
No, because he's not marked as in a mission or anything. He's just marked as in Deep Rock.
Yeah, but if he hadn't been on in a while, it would have like Z's next to it.
That's also true.
Let's see.
Just want to point out, Mike's difficulty is marked as hazard 4x10.
And that's why we don't play with him anymore.
I don't know what that means because it's definitely from a mod.
It's death. That's what it means. It means death.
I mean, I guess so.
Yeah, that's all that you're looking at for that.
Melee based spells. Let's see. Oh no, there is one higher roll to hit spell than stars.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Wait, Blade of Disaster.
I got a fun one for you, by the way, Cheston. After all the mangas you've read, imagine you get isekai'd and you get a little status window that says you've been isekai'd into one of the mangas that you have read up to this point. And you're just left in the middle of a forest with no context beyond that.
So I don't get to pick, it's just I'm in one of them.
Yeah.
Well, depending on where I drop, even if it's the middle of nowhere, I'd be able to cross a bunch of manga off the list.
That's fair, but given the long list, do you think you'd be able to nail it down at all?
I could narrow it down pretty heavily to know how careful I have to be while trying to figure out where I am. Because if it's a forest with no monsters or anything, I can cross off a huge subsection of stories that I've read.
No, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Also, hi, Caleb.
Hello.
I just got my buddy just messaged me that. He's like, imagine getting isekai'd, and all it says is it's one of the series that you have shown interest into at this point. And I'm like, well, that includes a lot of American animation, which I don't think I want to be in an American anime.
With how much manga I've read, if I can even get to a small town, I could probably narrow it down to a few series of where I am.
Question,
Oh, yeah.
what about that one, it's going to be the one series you don't remember the name of.
Yeah, but I'll remember vaguely, like, okay, this is what it's about, and I'll know what I have to do.
That is fair.
Yeah, no, it would be pretty easy once you figure, or like, able to find at least one big key factor into what's going on with the world. Example,
The point of the talk kill was you're originally dropped in the middle of nowhere with no defining features, really. What's your first step?
Just a little window that pops up that says in the text that you can read that you have been isekai'd into a series that you're familiar with, a manga or anime.
If I was given no powers, 50% of the series I've read, I'd probably be dead within the hour.
That's scary. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I would do is probably just, I think I would actually try to pull up a menu or a status.
I mean, yeah, it takes a few seconds.
To eliminate some off the list.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, it's not Sword Art Online. At least that's one good day.
Well, I mean, yeah, you do gotta always, if you're sent to another world, you gotta always check, do I have powers?
Oh yeah.
So-
See what skills I have.
Next
And that'll-
question: do I have to chant to some weird fucking god and do a dance to cast magic, or can I just fucking picture it and it appears?
Now, the one manga that I remember reading that I hope I never get isekai'd into was that one me and you, Chaston, read. The guy who went into a dungeon by force and had to fight basically the Grim Reaper on like floor 2.
That was actually floor 1. That was the first thing he saw when he walked in, remember?
See,
Oh yeah. I would hate to go into that one.
That was Dungeon Seeker.
oh, that's one that I haven't read yet. Cheston's got on my list. I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, that world is, well, because if you're spawned in that world, like out the dungeon, you're fine. Because the highest level, they say the Demon King was only level 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the first boss in the dungeon was level 120.
I think for me, I'm gonna be honest, given that, and that's fucking horrific, by the way. The only one that comes to mind immediately was, other than Tanya the Evil, because Germany, World War II plus, mix in the German mentality, and magic, that's not a good situation at all.
Well, okay. But here's the thing about Tanya the Evil. It does have a big factor of what country did you get dropped in.
That's true, but I think the number one for me is definitely the Fate Stay series, any of them. Not because of the danger, just because of the fact that I wouldn't know what the fuck was going on 99% of the time. I wouldn't be able to tell.
If you were dropped in Fate, the battles haven't only happened in very specific. It's so easy to avoid anything that happened in Fate.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Like, I remember watching one of the seasons, but I'm saying, like, my mentality of it is, like, after, like, that one series, or that one season, I don't know anything that's going on. I'm not going to want to get involved or have any understanding, and I'm going to try and avoid everything. So there's no real value to it. But I also feel it's the most dangerous, because then you get some random dude that just pops up next to you that's, turns out to be Hercules with the power of a fucking god to kill you. Just because you got chosen by some cup that said, well, fuck you, you're gonna fight. Now, yes, I do know that's not the actual, like, plot line, but you get my point.
Dude, having powers in Fate, and if you're not, is fucking terrible.
Yeah, the sorcerer families don't exactly seem to do very well with them.
No, because Magecraft has such hard-to-find limits. It's not like Magic Dungeons where you're just like, oh, it's my imagination. No, it has such hard-to-find factors that...
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel that.
Yeah, mages kill each other, because, like, the magic they use is a set resource, and more mages means every mage gets weaker.
Mm-hmm. Which is, yeah, well, and if I'm understanding correctly, that's part of the reason why they have the chalice competition bullshit.
No, so the Holy Grail competition is, like, it has to happen. The Grail will hit people on its own, and the winner gets a win. And it just keeps happening. No one can stop it.
See, yeah.
It's like most worlds, the Demon King versus Hero thing that no one can stop, it just keeps happening. It's the same idea.
I think the only other one, I gotta say, and I hate to say this, is the new Zom anime we're watching, the Zombie 101 one, by the way. Only because, after watching episode 2, there's athletic zombies, and, like, I'm proud of my athleticism. But I don't care if you're Usain Bolt. You're not gonna outrun an average zombie that can run a mile.
We see how fast they run casually.
Yeah, well, because we also got to think about the fact that if it takes into muscle consideration, and it is just that, some of those fresh fucking zombie, you're fucked. It's not even, if your really athletic friend goes down and gets, like, a bite, you need to put his ass down immediately. Like, don't even test it.
No, like, I'm looking at these series, because I keep a written list to know what chapter I'm on for different manga.
Yeah.
Some of these I would just be dead. Like, Sword Hound, I would just die. There's no...
Yeah, no, I feel that.
I don't care where I'm dropped.
Especially because, like, the mystery of it not knowing, like, and having that context of, like, oh shit, I need to do this right away.
Well, yeah, because even though I've read how it works, I'm not going to know how to get my powers that I use. Now, even though I technically learn them, I'm not going to know how to do it.
God forbid you find out you're not the pro tag of the series and you have to compete with the actual pro tag, and you're like, well, fuck, this isn't going to be fun.
No. God forbid you look in a mirror and realize you're a minor antagonist.
Yeah. You're like, oh wait, I know how this goes. No, we're gonna live a normal life. Goodbye. I know how this ends for this character. Fuck that.
Especially those animes, main protagonist is getting revenge on somebody.
Mm-hmm. Turns out
Yeah.
you're like you just killed Batman's parents, and you've got the powers of Joker over here, but with the mentality of fucking what was it?
Let's see.
Oh, I forget. I was gonna say Mr. Freeze, but not Mr. Freeze. What the fuck is the Flash's enemy? I can never remember.
Zoom.
No,
One of them.
Mr. Freeze. No, he's a stupid character.
Oh, yeah, fucking Captain Cold.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you're fucking Captain Cold versus with fucking Joker-like power. No superpowers, just fucking insane, and you just you just killed Batman's parents. Yeah, no.
Here's another one that I would just give up. Fucking tutorials too hard.
Yeah. No.
If I'm dropping hard difficulty, I'd be like, I'm not leaving the first room. I don't have the I had.
I think that anime really, or that manga gives a good perspective on like what the average Korean lifestyle is when you take into the idea of like what the working lifestyle, and you look at this and like, okay, the hell difficulty probably for a good amount of Korean like adults that have been working for 10, 20 years would probably still be a vacation, and
yeah.
that's fucking scary.
Then he talks about it later, and he's on like floor 60, and now no one from anyone else has floor 5 of hell. They've all died.
Well, and that's because, again, I think that's because of that mentality, the work, the difference between work culture. Like, you don't get that work culture.
He talks about it. Even other Koreans didn't make it past 5. He was like the lone.
Well, the dude was a professional game grinder beforehand, to be fair.
Well, yeah, and he puts himself through torture to get stronger.
Yeah, you've got to, I mean, you have to have a fucked mind to do shit like that.
Suicidal battle god. The whole world basically dies. There's no...
Records of Ragnarok, you're fucking fine. You're that random dude they chose, and they're like, this guy ends up turning out to be this great fucking hero, and you're sitting there like, dude, you're about 10 years too early. I don't know what the fuck is going on right now.
The wrong version. I start my journey in 6 months.
Yeah, yo, wait, what? You want me to fight Hercules? Nah, man. I'm good. No, I'm gonna go sit in the stands. Oh, man. Good series.
Now, does it have to be an isekai or an anime or manga?
No, it's just any series.
It's just any series in general. I was just using that for an example.
You just got dropped into a series. It's random.
Personally, I wouldn't. I feel like if I got dropped because like one webtoon I've read was I'm the Grim Reaper. Okay, it wouldn't be that bad. It's pretty normal. You're not going to tell much of a difference until maybe some person pulls a fucking scythe out of nowhere or.
Yeah, but then you're just dead.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. It's like, thinking about that, like, how long could you survive knowing that it's something you've read or watched, and you're sitting there like you don't have any context.
Imagine you're a person that reads a lot of series that are based on, like, the world looks normal and that stay hidden. You're not going to know where you are.
Look for the hidden hell rabbit.
Where's
the man-eating rabbit? Please don't be Monty Python. Anything but Monty Python.
You're drugged in. You are the Dark Knight.
No! Fuck this. It's not a flesh wound anymore. I'm going home. Fuck you.
It's a flesh wound.
Oh, man. God damn. No, I think that'd be an interesting idea. By the way, Maya, since you're just now hopping in for the first time, the Minecraft server has been popped back up and populated if you do decide to join at any point. So.
Ooh. Is there like a fancy mod pack?
I wouldn't call it fancy. I'd call it bare bones. I think there's like less than 20 mods in this.
Well, you know how it is with my fucking piece of shit laptop.
Less than 20 mods to add a lot. There's technically 93, but a lot of them are just like...
if you guys have the mod pack,
it's,
I can...
It's posted in Game Recruitment. It's in the pin chat as well. And the zip file there that says the Trend 2.0 zip. Yeah, there's a whole walkthrough. I mean, you don't have to jump on.
I'll take a look later.
Yeah, it's just if you decide you get the itch to play Minecraft.
It's just like finding a fucking work-life balance now.
Yeah, you'll get used to that. Trust me.
But yeah, I haven't fucking touched Minecraft, I think, since the last time I played on our server. So I don't even... Didn't they release the new update, the 1.20 or whatever?
we're-
I haven't even done that.
We're one update back though, so don't worry about it. I mean, if you ever want to casually get on, like I said, no issues. So I figured I'd offer because I remember you really enjoyed jumping on it. There's some critters and collectibles mods, so.
I'm a big fan. Oh, did you hear they're releasing I don't know what other games, but apparently in the new Jackbox pack they have a new the T-shirt game. They have a new version coming out.
I have Jackbox 6, so we have all the Jackbox games for next time we do game night.
Oh, sick! You got all of them?
Well, I own all of them, but 7. Tren owns 7.
Wait, is Tren back on the server?
Yeah, he's been on the server for a while.
He's been here.
What the fuck? Listen, I've been on a hiatus for a few months. Wait, is he? Oh my fucking god, he is! What the fuck?
He's up there
Oh, that shows how chronically offline I've been these past few months from Strat. Damn, the gang's back together then. Cool. Yeah. Okay, then we definitely have to do Jackbox sometime soon.
Yeah, I can probably organize something as soon as I get my lease signed and everything like that. I'm planning to put some vacation time in, so we can get something set up. Fuck yeah. All right, though, let's get started. Welcome everybody. Welcome at last. We are back again, as I mentioned last time. In case for those who didn't join or who missed out on last episode, which I know no one watched this besides us. Vormor has left the party for the time being, and will not be returning to the Sunday campaigns for the remainder of this campaign. So as a reminder, so we're joined with a group of 4. I guess Stumpy is currently gone offline and is very busy in a long, far off, distant land in another plane of existence, drilling for minerals on a meteor called Hot Sex.
The faraway place of 4 voice chats higher than us.
Yeah.
We come back though to the party having just barely managed to survive the tower itself of the first boss, if you will. The party having entered into the Rotnavengi's little tower in the clouds, they managed to peacefully make a deal with the giant guard at the center by offering up the Elder Tempest. They managed to hold off against the Elder Tempest inside the stronghold, now known as Little Bastard, after Lucius managed to finally catch the creature. They managed to hold off while Stumpy ran off and assassinated the owner of the tower and the source of most of the magic in this tower as he dived down, striking at it, causing a curse to go off, and as the skeletons returned fire, almost killing Stumpy, the party was put in jeopardy as they managed to just barely hold themselves up and hold on for as long as possible between Key's healing and the party continuously throwing this cage of companionship at the giant Elder Tempest. They managed to survive. Party was a little peeved after a session about the 1200 HP. But we got through it. Now they've gotten a good, clear understanding of exactly what this dungeon has to offer, and with its ancient powers that it comes to be. That there are creatures in here far beyond their capabilities to, focus on just violence. But after going through the gear, adding their equipment, the party managed to get kind of set up camp. I assume you guys would have taken a long... Well, yeah, you guys were setting up camp at the end of the session.
Yeah.
Because of someone decided to spice up the dinner a little bit.
Yeah, I took fucking 6 burn damage.
Yeah, how dare Stumpy do that?
Truly. But as the party settled down after their meals, Lucius and Sigrun having a little bit of fiery after effects, the party spends their night taking a full long rest without having to worry about a watch. As you all kind of 8 hours go by. You start to slowly wake up one by one. Everyone, give me a perception check.
Hearing or smell?
Sight.
It does help to get my dice out.
It does. What's up,
Yeah,
Kate?
I got mine out, but I need to fucking find them.
He's passive was like over 30.
2 passive.
21.
Roll.
Oh, yeah, that's right, 20. Okay, so Key, you don't have to roll. Don't worry about it. I mean, if you want to try to get higher, you're welcome to. But I think you're fine.
Jesus, I got a shit roll.
A bit higher, but
Okay.
I got a
Almost, so 32. For me to add my inventory, let me look.
I'll say I saw the ad. I looked at all the items.
Give me a minute, let me look.
Yeah, I was able to pull up the page. I just couldn't add it to my own inventory.
I wonder if you've got the same difficulty that Bastion has quite often. Nope, it's on. Okay. Nope, your homebrew's on, don't worry.
I still don't
Yeah,
know how that happened.
I'm still gonna give you shit for it every time, too.
Like, I was
Did
actively
you turn
playing
yours
a
off?
homebrew class. It was turned off, but
Yep. Alright, it is now in your equipment. It is the Elemental Great Axe +3.
Thank you.
Yep, got you. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Let me take a look at this.
So as Sigrun starts kind of looking at their axe, and then Lucius, what was your perception? I got everyone else's but yours.
21.
21, okay. Slowly, one at a time, you each wake up. Starting with Key being the early riser that she is. She immediately kind of snapping awake, sensing something was off. You look about and you don't see Stumpy anywhere. As you look around, the rest of your party is slowly one by one starting to get up after you. First, with yourself, followed by Lucius, and then Durali, and then finally Sigrun.
Hey, you say that like it's like strange. Stumpy does that like every other session where he vanishes.
That's fair. He has stealthed again and disappeared once more, not being able to sense him at all. Key.
well. Looks like a friend had left again.
He does that a lot, doesn't he?
Wonder where
Yeah.
he runs.
I will mention you guys are on the base floor of the tower where the Tempest had been set up, and all the like scorch marks on the floor, the slight little ruinous holes where the Earth Elemental tried to suck poor Durali into the ground. This-
Little bastard was keeping a lookout while we slept. I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
if you remembered that.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, and as you all kind of spend your time relaxing and waking up and coming to, you are free to look about the tower as you wish, as you have not found any way to leave yet. Yes, Sigrun?
Quick question. Does the Elemental Great Axe require attunement? Because it's not showing
It
up
does
that
not.
it does.
It does not.
It does not? I could just use it? Fuck yeah! Oh ho ho.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm very excited about this.
And I believe, don't trust its name. I think it's higher than a +3. You might want to check its thing. I don't remember. I think I just forgot to update the name. But, yeah. You can
I
check
don't know, it
its
says
description.
+3 in the description, but
Okay,
yeah.
Then that's never mind. Then it is up to date. I've made like 7 weapons today, so. But yeah,
Rip.
as you look about, you find yourselves now kind of packing up your camp, putting out your fire. You see the 4 braziers still in the room, still with their little bits of element in it. The central cup with the bits of strange black goo now having kind of seeped together as all the elements were brought together in that single cup from your understanding. And of course the upstairs that none of you ever went and looked at or looked around.
Should we? I feel like we should explore the upstairs.
Probably should. It's a starting point.
I don't know. How does the, like, staircase up?
Huh, sorry?
How wide is like the staircase up?
As you walk over to it, kind of as it's on the opposite side of the room from you guys, walking over the 50 feet, you look up. It's a good 4 foot wide. That you could have a pretty good wide gate going up this, and you'd feel pretty comfortable going.
Even
up
in my enlarged form?
Yeah, you're
Probably,
a little taller
yeah.
than giants.
Cool.
They're little, like your full foot won't be perfectly on the stair, but you should be able to get the majority on it from what you can tell.
Cool. Then Sigrun, with her fancy new great axe in tow, will head up the stairs, hoping to run across enemies so she can use it.
All right. Who else? Anybody else following up Sigrun, or you all letting Sigrun go by herself?
I'll follow up. I'm using my new staff that's fitted to my size as a walking stick.
Love that.
With the little moon on it and everything. You all see the staff that has suddenly appeared in Durali's hands after waking up. It looks to have shrunk down slightly from its original size, so that Durali could comfortably wield it. It has a large crescent moon at the top that's more of a bluish color, similar to the teardrop color of the painted statue that you've seen of Rotnavengi in the past. You do see at the bottom a little drum that as Durali kind of is walking, it naturally gives a beat every time Durali takes a step. Just faint enough to where you can kind of hear it.
Interesting.
Da, 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 da.
Alright, so Durali, Lucius, Key, you're all going up, you said?
Yep.
Okay. As you all kind of follow past, kind of scooting by the remains of the skeleton bones and their armor that they just kind of collapsed on the at the bottom of the stairs, kind of seeing the little bits of broken, charred black bone as well mixed into there. You all start to kind of climb over it and climb up the stairs. The stairs, it's a pretty long set of stairs. You do go around half the tower as you go all the way up. As I mentioned, this or a quarter of the tower. This is very large or high or steep up. As you climb up, you all, as you look into the room, see it opens up to this large storm-like environment. Mist kind of expanding out, making it look like there's no walls to the tower. Books and shelves of books scatter all about. A dining table in one of the far corners that looks to have gold leaf kind of imprinted into it, having been carved out of what looks to be some sort of strange white-looking wood material that looks slightly fluffy from the distance. In the center of the room, you see this large king-sized bed with a completely sunk-in center where you see some sort of bloody mess underneath red silk sheets, or what are now red silk sheets, were originally like a purplish blue color, as you can see the sides of them. However, the center just completely seeped through. As you look about, you also see 3 stands where it looks like some the skeletons used to stand at one point, and then a small chest at the back of the king-size bed.
I will, unless someone stops me, go towards the chest.
I think. I do have a spell for this. Does it look locked?
As the two of you kind of walk over there and take a look, you do see a padlock on it, yeah.
Do we care about noise? I have knock.
I don't know. Sigrun's hoping to run into people.
I'll cast knock.
Okay. As you do, you hear a loud emanating knock. The entire tower kind of vibrates with the noise. 1 second goes by, a few more seconds, and you hear a click, and the padlock falls to the ground.
I give Sigurd a thumbs up from really far.
Oh! That is probably smarter than me hitting it with my fire ice axe. As she leans down to open it up.
Yeah, as you kind of lean down looking into it, immediately the smell hits you first. You smell Scrofe whiskey. A whiskey specifically known to be made from using barrels from trees that only grow in the Scrofe lands that are very rough and short, that only produce enough wood, as a country, for about 2 barrels worth. This stuff is really expensive, and the smell from the wood immediately catches your sense, Sigrun.
Sigrun's like fucking. She was already like pretty excited to open the chest. She's like frantic now, like borderline feral.
As you kind of look down, you all kind of seeing Sigrun kind of getting excited about this from this large bottle that is just a dark blackened color that's thick like a giant wine bottle. Sigrun kind of pulls out, and as the cork kind of pops itself slightly, you can see the little magical runes on it, on the label, kind of glow for a moment, and it translates to common, and it says Bella Shira's whiskey and rum mix.
Would I be familiar with that name?
Roll a history check.
Damn, not the best at those. If I fail, I'll say it's because Sigrun's too distracted by the whiskey.
You know, that's fair.
Oh, 18?
18. You have no idea who that is.
Fuck, that was like the second best roll I could get.
Yeah, there's no one you've ever heard. There's never been a book that you've read. You've never heard any passing scholars mention this name.
No.
Friends, look, it is, I don't know how it got here. This is from my people, my lands. It is such a rare commodity. I am...
As a world
lucky
traveler, is it anything I recognize?
As Sigrun's kind of excitingly holding up the bottle and like showing you guys with like, you can see slight drool on the side of Sigrun's mouth kind of coming out just a little bit for the excitement. As you look over at it, Lucius, give me a history check.
You know, we were told no one knew was in here for hundreds of years. That's gotta be if that's Scrofae booze, it's gotta be old bottle of Scrofae booze.
I'm
aged
going
well.
to reach out and put my hand on the bottle,
Okay.
and I would like to use my Grim Psychrometry.
Okay.
It's like,
So that's a 16.
has this bottle killed anyone?
I could make it happen.
Give me a minute. I'm just checking something from my notes.
Whiskey lore.
This may be poison. No, wait.
It might be, but I'm checking to make
Hey,
sure.
Sigrun's immune to that. She'll still drink.
That we know. Trust me, we all know. Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking at something. I'm looking for something here. Yeah. Okay. And you rolled what again? Sorry.
16.
For a moment, you see as this bottle, you see this giant S that kind of looks like the body, or same shape as the body in the bed that none of you have gone over to look at this point. Similar in shape, looks like her holding this bottle and smacking Arat Navengi over the back of the head with full force and knocking her unconscious for a moment, and then watching her being dragged off by 2 other storm giants. However, and then it adjusts, and for a moment, because of the fact that you have a 16, the images don't fully clear in your head, but you see something horrid that, beyond description, as you see this dark, dank, and musky cave as it starts to slowly fade into this picture, you begin to see this strange like Venta Black Dragonborn in dark draconic fiendish armor that looks almost melted and torn apart, talking to what looks to be a female tiefling with very faint feature, or a very kind of faintish red feature. She looks to be somewhat sunken in from her skin, looking like she's old-aged a good bit as she sits in this giant wooden chair that looks to be made carved with different like skulls and of creatures and such into the wood. She, as I do have an actual image for this, looks, or you see this like gray, this short gray hair that then expands up to a large gray ponytail, gray eyes, faint, like red skin that once used to be very vibrant and has slowly started to kind of go to a more plainer red. She sits there looking, and she starts to stare at you as you see this angry tiefling creature. And as you start to see this, it kind of clears up, and you watch as it horridly shows tentacles, mucus, weird vibrating materials you've never seen before that you can't comprehend. You see beholders being popped out of holes that causes you to almost lose your stomach. And give me a con save actually at that.
Ooh. That is a 11.
11. You all watch as Lucius seems to, like, his eyes seem to go back in his head for a moment as he starts to do his normal, like, grim history check for you all. At this point, being used to it, and you watch as Lucius starts vomiting, like, extraordinarily. His eyes still in the back of his head. He still seems to be unresponsive, and then he just falls to the ground out cold, lying in a pool of vomit. The last thing you hear in your head, Lucius, is the word Belashira.
Okay.
Call me crazy. I don't think the booze had a good history.
Just excitedly
In my
talking
passed
about the
out
whiskey.
state, can I, like, mumble that name?
Yeah. As you just hear Lucius, an eye still in the back of his head, completely unconscious, pale, and like covered now, or laying in a giant pool of vomit. You hear that name whispered out, as the body goes quiet. It's slowly breathing. It's like me for okay. What?
It's in reference to the chat.
Oh, okay.
You not see the gif I sent?
No, I wasn't paying attention. God damn it. But yeah, as you all watch as Lucius passes out, whispering this on his last breath as he goes unconscious, you're still holding the bottle, Sigrun.
I
That
don't think
is-
Belashira did good things.
That is not the normal reaction to seeing alcohol.
No, and he's looked at and seen murders and not cared.
Should we
I th-
poke him or something?
No, leave him for a minute. I think he did his little flash to the past thing, trying to see what the bottle was about. I don't think he saw good things.
Oh, he threw up.
Yeah.
It's like Sigrun's like crouched down, still holding the
That's
bottle
me.
in one hand and like poking
Sigrun-
at Lucius with the other.
I feel I'm a foot tall. I'm right next to it. I can smell it. It's bad.
Key, give me a strength check.
Well, worry not. I will drink Lucius's portion of this
Oh,
as she pats
actually-
the barrel.
I can move him because I see that strength check was awful. I have telekinesis on this staff.
As you go to move him, Key, you're not a barbarian. You're not a strong person. You know, you grab a hold of the arms and try to drag. This is a full-grown human. He is wearing full equipment. That he ain't moving anywhere.
Dead weight.
Yeah.
Man bear.
Yeah. You also start to see that Lucius kind of slowly is vibrating between his hybrid form and his normal human form every few seconds, as his body seems to be slightly stuttering. And then Durali, you said you're going to use what? Telekinesis?
Yeah, I wave the staff and cast telekinesis to kind of pick him up and move him out of his
What's
vomit.
telekinesis weight maximum?
1,000 pounds.
Okay. Yeah, as you kind of as you wave your staff, a light kind of starts to expand around, and a wind is felt, causing the smell of the vomit to erupt into the room even further. But slowly, Lucius floats away on a little bed of air as he's moved over a few inches and let down onto the ground softly.
Mm.
And then
Well,
I'm holding my nose now that the stench is stronger.
Alright.
I still think we should take them. As Sigrun like holds the two. Well, how big are they? Like these barrels?
So the bottle is about 1.5 feet tall and about half a foot thick. These are not
Okay.
and you can smell the wood aging. They're not made of wood. The bottles are made of glass, but you can smell the
okay.
wood from
Yeah,
your
Manga,
homeland.
the barrel thing was about how many Scrofy could produce per year.
Yeah,
Okay.
being the fact that they're so to get your hands on one of these drinks being aged in these barrels is nigh impossible.
How much would they probably be worth per bottle? Just to guess.
Outside of the Scrofy lands, probably around 4,000 platinum pieces apiece.
What about
Damn.
one? this long.
Inside the Scroffe lands, probably around 1,000 gold pieces, because they're a little more, like, there's a lot more commodity, they're not as often traded out. One this old, inexpensible, if it's been aging since the first age, that's a 7,000 plus year old bottle of whiskey, that's, and made by some sort of creature, apparently, that was strong enough to just the mere name of it to cause Lucius to pass out.
The whiskey that will knock you out before you drink it. We could do some branding with this.
Only if you're a bloodhound.
Lucius kind of stirs in the background, coming back to consciousness.
They'll fit. Sigrun would try to put them in her bag of holding for safekeeping.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Because they're clearly, she could sense they're valuable.
Yeah, you can add 2 barrels. Or 2 bottles. They are a total of 5 pounds apiece. Just as a heads up.
Hell yeah. Okay.
But Lucius, you kind of come to finding yourself still feeling the warm wetness of the vomit slightly on your face, but not lying in it. As you look over and can kind of see an imprint of where you fell into it earlier, and finding yourself slightly moved a few inches over.
I pulled you out of the vomit.
I just look at the bottles in horror.
Don't worry, I'm putting them in my bag of
I'm
holding.
putting them in the bag of holding. Yeah.
Was it really that bad?
I will relay the bits and pieces that I've seen, that I can remember.
As Lucius tries to find the words, the description kind of comes off, causing many of you to be disturbed by the slight image of it. I need a con save from the rest of the party.
Even Sigrun?
Yup.
Damn.
Yeah, 25.
Well,
Nice.
that's a 30.
30, okay. Fucking. I was really worried Sigrun wouldn't pass. Key got a 14.
Yeah,
You watch as Key from the description starts to slowly kind of get woozy and dizzy and then passes out.
Mm.
I'm just sitting here like, Durali's seen worse.
The description leaves all of the rest of you slightly disturbed as the mentality kind of goes through, or as Lucius kind of finishes speaking. As you look through the rest, inside the chest, you do see a couple of bars of what looks to be strange black-like metal. Sigrun that seems to kind of be almost floating and moving inside the bar as if it has an outer shell and then almost a see-through or transparent fish tank-like material inside of it. As you kind of look at it, you see that it's made of the liquid inside looks to be chaotic black goo that kind of jumps out and sparks for a little bit with blue-looking energy and then kind of goes back to moving about in waves. You see about 3 of these bars lying in a little section of the chest, and then and then 2 books in the center, both written in giant. One reads "The Adventures of Nancy the Druid." And you see it's a little kid's book. And the second, as you kind of look it over, you speak giant, but you don't speak primordial, right?
Yeah, I only speak giant.
Yeah, as you try to read it, you're kind of sure as you look at it, you're sure it translates to in giant, elements welcome, but you're almost 100% sure that's not the perfect translation. The symbols look different from what you can tell of it. You just know it is some form of giant.
This confuses me. But it says something about elements, roughly. And welcome. She's speaking it out loud to the general group.
Yeah, sadly, I don't have comprehend languages, so. Yeah.
Damn.
It's fine.
Alright.
Should we take it?
I mean, do we have a reason not to?
Nope.
You look down at the book, and you're both kind of looking down at the book. Key in the background, slowly regaining her feet, coming back to consciousness.
What if I added this item to my bag of holding, what should I label it as?
The book? Which book?
Any of them.
The Adventures of Nancy the Druid, the children's book about how to be a druid, or
No.
that is, by the way, 406 pages. Or
Damn.
Elements Welcome. And just as you kind of look at it, it's just as you look kind of flipping through it, you count, or you go to the end and you count 600 pages in this book.
Look, Maya, hear me out.
Very
Knowing DM, the Nancy
6
Druid book might
pages.
actually be important.
Do you actually? Do you want to take the books, knowing how Sigrun is, rather than me?
I
adding it?
I can't read them, but I can carry them. Yeah.
Yeah, just they're better. They're more safely kept in your hands than mine.
Okay. As you go ahead and grab them, Durali, picking both up, kind of shove them in your bag, and nothing seems to happen.
Alright. That works.
Cool.
I will head
Sweet.
towards the
Oh.
possibly dead person.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should look at the body.
Yeah, as you walk it over to kind of like walk around the bed back to the side of it, looking in, you see the seeping red that's starting to slowly blacken now with time. Just soak through these soak sheets in the center. It looks to be in this creature, the bed being in its own right, being 13 feet tall, or rather long, and a good 6 feet wide. This isn't by any means a small bed, but as you look it over, Lucius, you see long blue hair, bright blue eyes, bluish skin. It's definitely a storm giant. It's definitely a female by her softer features, but she's covered up by the blanket, and it's not really giving you much of her figure, but it looks like she's not wearing anything underneath the blanket, from what you can tell.
So many fellas could curl up on this bed and be comfy.
Durali
Might not want to curl up
A
on
single
this one.
Sigrun could fit on this bed and be comfy.
Durali in the background contemplating this, thinking like a bunch of fellas, like Sigrun thinking about themselves laying on this bed. Lucius looking at both of them, thinking they're weird and nuts for wanting to lay in giant's blood.
Look, dragon's blood bathing can give you powers. I don't know what ancient giant blood would do.
Fair.
Honestly, I wouldn't be
So my blood
surprised that
and see what
Sigrun
it
would want to
does.
lay in any kind of blood. Doesn't shock me in the least bit.
Fair.
You know, it's not the first time I've slept in my blood.
But this is a giant's blood, not your blood.
They are my kin. Also, I never said it was Scrofe blood I slept in, you know.
I mean,
War, you get a cut, you don't ask questions. A few raided villages, you know how it is.
honestly, I know Sigrun's related to giants in the race, but a giant this old, does that count?
Roll a medicine check.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sigrun. Can Sigrun roll a medicine check just for the fucking hell of it?
Sure, why not? I'll take it.
Because she's gonna think about that question. Oh my god, I rolled an 18, 19 total.
Alright, and what'd you get, Durali?
Oh, what, for medicine?
Yeah.
So I only have a +1. That's 7.
Okay.
I got better than you.
I have the same modifier as you.
As you look, Durali, you're pretty sure, right? As you look this over, that there is definitely a similarity between the two. They're both large. They both seem to be angry, and they both seem to prefer big weapons.
Durali nods sagely and strokes the mustache from the locket of mustache like she figures something out.
Sigrun, as you look at it, these giants are very old, being beyond the first age. Your people have some similarity. However, your people descend from a specific line. You are almost 100% sure that you do not. Your people do not descend from storm giants at all.
While I am giant kin, my very specific line amongst them, and sadly do not descend from the lineage of which storm giants are from. But nonetheless, I do feel a kinship to most giants. Curious how this one died. Sigrun also nods like sagely and strokes like just a tiny bit of like chin fluff on her, like fur on her chin.
God damn it. As the two of you kind of look on.
Sigrun, did you not see Stumpy running down these stairs?
I was in a blind bloodlust rage, and for most of that battle was defying death, so no.
I saw Stumpy run upstairs.
Well, I mean, I guess we can't say that Stumpy did this, but he did come running down the stairs being chased by deadly skeletons, so...
Oh, yes, one of those fuckers hit me and then it died before I could kill it. The fucking bitch. Ah,
I mean,
coward.
it looks like the Stormjay got shanked. Stumpy's very stealthy. I don't know.
Well,
Well, actually,
I
with that
still-
medicine check from earlier, Sigrun, as you're looking at
Oh.
this, yeah, you can tell these are the two weapon wounds that you see in the
Mhm.
center of the chest of this storm giant match almost perfectly, given your military and battle experience
Yeah.
with Stumpy's weapons.
this is the perfect medicine check for her.
Yeah.
Given the shape of the incisions and the depth of which they are, it is clear to me it is indeed Stumpy's weapon, at least what I've seen of it. I wonder why he killed her. Must have had good reason.
I mean, I feel like
That is-
every character wants us dead.
That is true. Weren't I don't recall what the voice, if it this person, but I do recall a voice screaming about
Oh.
killing us in an hour.
Well,
And it was
someone
from a
shouted-
tall place.
Someone said they're going to kill us. This is the only person here. I don't think it takes a lot of thought.
Ah, Stumpy was what is the word in common? Provocative. He acted first. As she like nods.
Let's go with that word.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Well, is there anything valuable on the body?
Uh,
I mean, he's naked.
as you are you gonna lift the blanket and look?
Sure, what? Might as well.
Yeah, as you pop open, kind of lift it up, getting flashed with everything as this sunshine is naked as a jaybird.
I am unfazed.
The rest of the party fully seeing all of this as you all look on. You see 4 potion bottles on the side, or on the right side towards you, laying in the bed right next to her. All different sizes, different colors of liquid, and different
Ooh.
shapes.
Hey, do you guys know what these are? As Sigrun shifts to the side so that if her body was blocking the party's view, they now have full sight.
Like, I'll take a look at him.
Yeah, I'll also look at him.
You see the very well endowed and very well blessed design of this storm giantess with the giant hole in her chest, still slightly spewing blood every few seconds. But as Lucius and Durali look over, are you gonna grab the potions, or are you just gonna take a look at them from a distance?
Just looking to see what it is.
Okay.
I'm getting close. I'm climbing up on the bed.
You're climbing up onto the bed. Okay.
Yep.
As Durali kind
Does she
of
need a boost?
climbs up on top of it, takes a few seconds, and kind of climbs onto it with their claws, like a cat, like a true cat climbing onto a very tall bed. You hear that the sheets slightly tear, and then as Durali ends up on top, going in and looking. Lucius, what are you looking for, and what are you trying to ascertain from these bottles?
Just see if there's anything that stands out on what it could be.
Give me an investigation check.
Investigation.
We'll start with you, and then I'll go with the Durali after that.
Does it have to do with Fey Fiend or Undead?
Yes.
It does. Okay. Well, that didn't matter.
Interesting.
That is a 25.
25. As you take a look, you notice that the bottles slightly stutter every few seconds, as if an illusion is like looping, and then they change shape once again to a different potion. You're not sure what these are, but you can definitely tell that these things are magical by definition, and that the defining feature is they keep changing their design and what's inside them.
Something about these is changing, y'all.
Duralia.
I do.
Oh, go ahead, Sigourney. Sorry.
It was just gonna be like, I do see the colors changing.
Duralia, as you climb up onto the bed, what are you doing?
I want to first cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Let me check something just to make sure. Hold up my actual right here. Okay. So yeah, you can you sense a faint or a very faint aura of magic coming off of all 4 of the bottles. And you discover that they each have a School of Illusion spell cast on them. Yeah.
How, if I use the action to see the magic, how strong of a spell does it look like based on like the amount flowing off of it for the illusion spell?
You're not sure as you take a look at it. Oh, here, let me look. Let me see my description here. As you take a look, based on the level of the spell, it's definitely something like a cantrip.
So I can just dispel magic it casually. Okay. I'll dispel the illusion on one of them.
Okay. As you do.
Would you like me to roll a d4 for which one it is?
No.
Okay.
Not in this situation. As you do, you cast this out. You watch as the magic kind of sparks onto it, and the little minor illusion, the little runes that you could see seem to slowly dissipate and fry away. The bottles continue to change shape. Now seeing that they are physically doing so.
Oh. Okay. I mean, if no one's against it, I guess I can carry them until we figure out what they do.
I'm not opposed. I don't think Sigrun should have these.
You're probably chugging them at some point. Yeah, I'd rather you don't.
The perfect guinea pig to test them on. I just don't think you should let her make that decision.
Yeah, I'd rather you don't.
No. As you see, Key kind of climbs up onto the bed and is kind of taking a blanket out and starts kind of applying pressure onto the wound of the dead storm giant. Are you going?
Key, she's dead.
But these
And she
that will
threatened to
not
kill us.
resurrect her.
She's dead, and she threatened to kill us. What are you doing?
I mean, okay, well, first off, body bleeding. It may not be dead, but
It's dead.
Well,
It's-
I mean, I could make sure as Sigrun
With my
has her
cleric
act.
powers, can I tell?
Give me a medicine check.
Okay.
I also, you know, I feel bad.
21.
Yeah. No, the corpse is dead. It's a corpse. It's cold. Yeah.
Gee, they're dead.
You see Lucius kind of walk over, put his 2 fingers up to the side of their throat, and like holding for a pulse for a few seconds, and then looks
I
over
could
you and
have
says,
told you that from the depths of the wound and how long she had been up here. It is not likely to
I'd
survive
say
that
it was
kind
much
of damage.
past the hour that she said she was going to come down and kill us at, so.
Mm-hmm. If she had healed herself or been in a type of rage such as I when stabbed, she could have. No, that depth of wound kills most people.
I don't even know what Stumpy did, but I'm kind of proud of him, I gotta say.
I mean, it's not often I've dealt with actual assassinations of people, just like fake ones. So.
I will also say, Key, you can tell as you're holding onto the wound, there's a dent in the chest. If Stumpy did this, he didn't just stab this creature. He put an actual physical dent in their chest plate.
That,
Okay.
That's a lot of force.
You do notice, though, well, Lucius is kind of looking at you, kind of mentioning this, and Sigrun kind of making the joke about the it being dead for for this long. The something's moving, and it's either the body or something as vibrating underneath your hands that you can slightly feel. It's just a slight tremble. Oh,
Oh,
welcome
There.
back.
Here.
Yeah, you hear, or you start to feel, as you're holding your hand over it, you start to feel a slight trembling underneath your hand, like something's vibrating either under the body or within the body.
Autopsy? Question mark?
parasite? Question mark.
You know what? Actually, yeah, the body is vibrating. Can I get something to cut it open?
I have a lot of things that can cut things open.
I'm just gonna move away.
Not for
I-
precision, Sigrid.
No,
I
general
need,
cutting.
I need precise cutting.
I'm just
like
gonna
a-
hold a dagger out to the key.
As you do, Key, you kind of take this, and as you see Lucius backs up, Sigrun, what are you doing?
And we'll take a step back. She's not gonna back away as far as Lucius, but she'll give the smaller people space because
Okay.
they're doing like medical cutting,
Kind of
and
letting
she
go of the
doesn't
blanket.
do medical cutting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
letting go of the blanket as Key kind of, is still standing on the bed. I assume Durali having climbed off the bed at this point, or are you still standing on the bed, Durali?
I'll stand on it in case anything happens. I need to be able to see if the body fights back or something.
Okay, Key, with your passive perception, you notice as Durali's handing you the knife, you look kind of out of the corner of your eye, you see one of the fingers twitch.
Okay. Hey, ma'am, if you are alive, we didn't do this. Second, dead bodies should not be moving. Could you not do that?
You see
I'd
another
like to-
finger. You see another finger twitch slightly.
I would like to restrain the body with telekinesis.
Okay.
Yeah, if
What's
Sigrun will
the save on
also
that?
assist.
I believe it's strength. Ability choice putting. Oh, it's ability check with your spell casting can testify the creature's strength check, is what it says.
Well, it's a nat 1 for a 24.
Holy shit! I have to nat 20 to beat that.
Is there a way for Sigrun to assist?
Its strength is plus 23.
Well, yeah, it's you're about to find it's injured right now, so.
Well, I don't win the check.
As you start to as you see Key's eyes kind of snap and start to say this, Durali casts telekinesis. You see the magic go over Lucius. You know that you get this sense of "I told you so" moment coming to your mind as you're watching this, and as you're getting like confident, Durali, you feel
Little
the
bastard, I choose you, and I'm just gonna throw the cage on the floor now.
You feel the magic break as this cage opens up and the Elder Tempest comes out and then turns and runs back into the cage.
I don't allow it to.
You refuse it, and it kind of turns and faces, and you see it is trembling as it prepares for combat. The Key and Durali, you both have an action as you watch as suddenly the torso sits up with an unnatural speed almost immediately. What do you two want? Or what do you want to do? I'll start with Durali.
I'd like to cast fly and shoot backwards into the air.
Okay. All right. And Key.
I'm finding the spell.
He has a spell for this. Okay.
Unlifeify.
Yeah, the spell instant kill.
Spell.
Oh shit!
Read
I don't
that.
have a save for that.
Spell. Control Alt Delete.
Unfortunately. So I'm gonna, seeing this body start moving, and there's too many people close to me, and
I can take it.
you know what? I have a question. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If I cast a spell, example Fireball, behind the body, could I use the body as cover?
Yes. I mean, sure. It's her torso is taller than you, so it would give you full cover.
Okay. I need that torso to make a dexterity saving throw as I'm casting fireball.
All right, it's gonna use its legendary fucking resistance here and auto succeed that because otherwise it auto fails.
Oh, okay.
For a fireball, damn, it doesn't do that much damage.
You watch as the fireball goes flying off into one of the bookshelves on the wall. Roll damage for that. What's up?
I would say I think the fireball still does half damage to the.
Oh, it does. That's true.
It does something no matter what.
So yeah, go ahead and roll the damage.
30.
So as she takes 15 points of fire damage, you watch as the corpse kind of catches fire as the fireball goes flying past into the bookshelf, be on the opposite side of the room, just sparking the blanket laying on the corpse slightly and igniting it. It doesn't react as it just stares at you, the eyes starting to glow blue with magic.
I say we either fight this thing or leave.
Sigrun hefting her axe, Durali backing off as the wings suddenly appear behind her and pull her back.
Sigrun, it doesn't look like it, but its muscles are stronger than yours.
What?
The creature you watch seems to suddenly raise its hand and kind of puts it right in Aki's face. Aki, I need a dex save.
Oh.
Shit, I don't have anything to stop this.
I'm gonna lucky that.
The question is, can you even succeed in the first place?
I doubt it. Okay, I doubt I can roll. I doubt.
I assume it's like a
24.
contested grapple roll or something, and I don't think.
You jump out of the way at the last second as you watch this stream of demonic black energy spew out and hit one of the corners of the wall right beside Sigrun. Sigrun, you feel death fly by your face for just a moment. That sense of like a crossbow bolt, you know that would normally kill you, just flying right next to you in the heat of battle. Both the thrill and terror of that moment hits you. And you will hear screaming as suddenly this blackened portal opens up on the ground, pulling something into it, and the portal black ooze disappears. And the corpse falls back over and slowly starts to burn away.
Did it get ripped down to hell?
I don't think that was hell. I think that was something far worse.
The Abyss? Or the Abyss equivalent in this world?
Is there any other way out of this room other than the staircase?
As you look about suddenly now, having seen this and just snapping away from it, looking about, you suddenly see now a doorway appearing on the opposite side of the room from where you're standing now.
I am heading there. I want nothing to do with this.
Let's just speed walking past Sigrun, just ignoring everyone else.
I'm just gonna follow with my little cherub wings beating.
Okay.
I still have the dagger in my hand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, non-magical dagger.
Just standing there now, kind of laying on, or kind of on another portion of the bottom of the, or the end of the bed near the giantess's feet, as the bed is slowly igniting.
Okay. I think I'm gonna hand the dagger. I'm gonna hand the dagger back to Durali as the body should.
I don't want it. I have multiple, Caleb. I don't need it.
This is my first dagger on this character.
Baby's first dagger.
Look, you never know when you need a knife for something.
True.
Look, and I had 3 daggers. Now I have 2.
All right.
I will keep the dagger, and I'm leaving this room. I don't want to be involved with that. I'm afraid if I burn it or try to cut out a part to ensure it's dead, it's gonna get angry.
For just a moment, as you're all starting to walk out, with your passive perception key, you finally realize Stumpy is no longer with you guys at all. You can't feel any presence anymore.
Did Stumpy's soul just get...
As you kind of take 1 minute, go ahead.
So it seems our short-legged friend is gone. I sure hope he wasn't caught on the other end of that attack.
Yeah, but hasn't he been able to, like, avoid your senses, like, 3 times now?
Yeah. But I don't feel anything like I don't think he's ever coming back.
Mm.
A strange quiet as the fire crackles in the background.
Most odd, this experience.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back into that room and I'm gonna move anything that's flammable away from that bed. I don't want our only exit getting caught up in the blaze.
As you watch as Lucius kind of steps up to it, kind of walks over, opens the door, sees this black mist of material in front, tries to walk into it, kind of slams into it, realizing it's solid as Key turns away from the party last minute and walks over to go and move some stuff, or move the chest away. Key kind of shoving the chest. Takes a minute. Sorry, go ahead, Durley.
Just staring at Key, because I'm assuming it's like the other doors where everyone has to be here.
As you all just kind of watch Key, Key, give me a strength check just to see if you can move the crate easily.
It'll be fucking one.
Yeah.
Okay, 21.
As you watch the rest of your party just kind of stares on at you as you walk back over and start kind of shoving against the crate. You move it over, or grinding against the floor loudly as you push it next to, or as far away from the bed as you can. Coming back over, you join back with the party, and the black mist fades as Lucius just kind of walks through, and I assume annoyed.
Very.
As you walk right through the door, you all slowly find yourselves walking through with Lucius, and you come into what opens up into this large cave. You begin to hear the sounds of like trickling water in the distance, the sounds of the splashingness of some creature moving about, a couple of wet slaps here and there, as you find this dark cave all around you, just tall enough to fit Sigrun's massive frame, but still not large enough to give Sigrun any comfort being in a tight, like, long corridor here. As you all start walking forward, who's gonna take the lead, just out of curiosity?
If no one else is
For
volunteering,
reasons
Sigrun
I'll
can.
come up later, I wish to lead.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say, if I go first and I don't, like, shrink down, I will go in line of sight.
Okay. So, Durali's up first, followed by Sigrun?
I mean, unless the others want me in the back. Because of my size.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we want Key near the back because they're the healer. So
Cool. Lucius, do you want to be in front or behind me?
I will go in front of you because I'm also a healer.
Cool,
He's-
we have our healers, like,
you can
divvied out.
You can stab the enemy over Lucius's head with your height. So
Yeah, oh,
You're-
easily.
And I
Okay.
can
got
stab him over
same
the Raleigh
reach.
with my height.
I'm tiny.
And Key's just gonna be in the back healing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Look, Key called themselves a heal bot before session today.
Alright. What'd you say, Key?
No, I jokingly said fireball.
Oh no.
Sigrun's back suddenly smells like burning bacon.
Sigrun doesn't even notice.
Alright, so Durali followed by Lucius, followed by Sigrun, followed by Key, who can't see anything but between Sigrun's legs.
And I
Mhm.
am still flying.
Okay.
And I believe actually True Sight ending 'cause it's been way over an hour. You
Yes.
turned that off.
Alright, as you all start walking down the cave, the material of the rock seems to be a simple, like, blackened stone. Nothing real interesting about it as you all look about. Continuing to follow down the corridor, Durali, do you have dark vision?
I do have dark.
Okay, how far out to?
It's 60 feet.
Okay. Okay, alright. Remind me what your thing does again, Key?
So any magical darkness is being dispelled, and any hostile creature within 30 feet of us that does not have total cover must make a con save.
Okay. What does Key consider hostile?
Anything that wants to kill us.
Okay. Alright, as you watch, as you start to, for a moment, Durali, you start to kind of watch it, or kind of blink your eyes to activate the dark vision. And then as you finally get to work, you suddenly notice as all the darkness around you disappears. As Key's holy light from the back of the party seems to like make it glowing bright, kind of slightly blinding you for a moment as you kind of blink out your eyes to get your normal vision back.
Well, how far does the light project light? What's the size?
Any magical darkness within 30 feet of me is being expelled.
Yeah, so I'm reading the Fel's Dark Vision. It says 60, but that's for bright light. I can see beyond it as dim.
Mm-hmm.
So
as you
really...
look on, you see through the dark light as like a dim light now due to the brightness all around coming from behind you. As you look on an extra 30 feet in front of you. As you start to walk, Durali, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Still not perceptive. It's one of the skills I'm not good at.
So that's fair.
But I keep rolling well, though. That's an 18 plus 1 for a 19.
Alright, as you start to go around this winding cave, you start to kind of seeing some ones that peel off in other directions, ignoring them, noticing that they're almost immediately seem to lead to dead ends, only a few feet down. You finally find yourselves coming into this massive 20-foot by 25-foot wide wall, or wide room. As you look about, this massive cave seems to expand, and as the darkness fades away, allowing you all to see this, you see tall bookshelves filled with knickknacks, skulls, organs, and jars, blank books, stuffed taxidermy animals, creatures of that you would all consider sentient and not to be stuffed by a taxidermist, kind of hanging about the wall and being showed off proudly with little titles and little golden markings with notches of like their story and such written into them. At the center of this cave, as you all kind of come in and flow out, rather. Expand out, yeah. You see at the center is this massive wooden chair that seems to kind of grown in... What's up? Oh, okay.
There's someone else in the front of Roberts, yeah.
Oh, okay. No worries. I just want to make sure I didn't hear someone. Wife was talking. No worries, man. Yeah, as you all look about at the center of this room, you see these roots kind of descending down from the roof to form this massive wooden chair, or wooden throne, with a strange cushion in the center of it. You see little geckos sewn onto it, into a pattern. There, sitting in the chair is the same long-legged, buff, but much older-looking tiefling woman from earlier, that you got in your mind's eye for a moment, Lucius. You see the long gray hair, now gray eyes, the slightly sunken-in features from the aging, and the dulled red skin over the years, but the muscle still showing, the giant club still sitting at the side of the chair, now looking more like a walking stick in its design. As you kind of all look, you also see beside her sits these two looking giant, 110-pound, 3-foot tall, on all four legs, Chihuahua-looking dogs. Both of them seem to have, instead of eyes, like having eye stalks kind of coming out of them that like kind of wave around. That seem to be kind of sitting there, like waiting for her to speak, this woman to speak. As you all look about, and yeah, you do see the cave continues on behind her, but looks to be barred by a giant barred gate.
I'd like to lean in really close to Lucius and just say, you think we should offer her her booze back, or...
I think that would be smart.
You're too far back and you're short. Come on.
I mean, we could.
I mean, I'll get a little closer and see if she says anything. Like, is she watching us, or is she just kind of like sitting there staring listlessly at nothing?
As you look, her eyes seem to be closed. As she...
I'll step forward but stay silent. Like, not trying to sneak or anything, just waiting to see if she'll talk to me first. I don't want to interrupt her if she speaks.
Okay. You wait a few moments. She doesn't seem to move.
I don't want to...
How long do you plan to wait?
I'll give it like a minute.
Okay.
And I'll see if it does anything.
Why are we waiting?
And Sigrun just kind of stands there staring over at this woman sitting in the middle of the room. The two dogs kind of staring at you all now.
The context of who this is.
Yet not knowing at all, you all kind of wait for another minute as Sigrun kind of impatiently, I imagine like clicking her hoof or something like that, waiting.
I'm
Shifting her
motion,
way,
looking at
squeezed in
Sigrun.
the tunnel.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Sigrun and motion to the lady, and like pant. I'm gonna pull out my booze bottle and point at it, and then point at Sigrun, like the bottles we just got.
Point out the what?
The bottles we just got. Like that's.
Both of those in my bag of holding.
No, yeah, that's why I'm pantomiming my own alcohol and then pointing at you, pointing at the lady.
She needs a drink?
No,
same.
I'll just say it out loud. That's the person whose name's on the booze we just got.
Oh. Well, then, maybe she could brew us some more if we ask.
The minute goes by as you're having this conversation, as you kind of just awkwardly are standing there. Nothing's changed. The dogs continue. Their little like eye stalks kind of going back and forth between you, the party, and her, not seeming to do anything.
What are those things?
They
I don't know.
One of them's tongue kind of starts to sit off to the side, and it starts to yelp with a really annoying and really high pitched Chihuahua bark.
Sigrun's making a face of like, clearly she's not digging these dogs. She's not into these at all.
I know is she alive? Because no, she's not moving.
I used to pick on a blood hunter that did the same thing.
Is the lady alive or is her body sitting there?
You can give me a medicine check.
Fuck it. I'll see if I roll well.
Is she like blocking her way, or is she just like there?
No, it's
12.
just in the center of the room. You can see on the other side. The cave continues on, but there's like a barred gate, that seems to be blocking the entrance to continue on. Can I?
I rolled.
Yeah, go ahead, Key. Go ahead and roll medicine check as you see Durali kind of looking the corpse up and down. Durali, you.
Oh, maybe she.
Oh Lord! All right, yeah, Durali. As you look on, you don't see her chest moving up and down. Key, you look her up and down and kind of take a minute. Kind of throws you off that she's definitely not a tiefling. You realize that based on the anatomy and size of her. As you kind of looking at from this distance, it looks like she's much shorter, but you'd guess she's probably the same height as Sigrun. And as you look at the muscles, those are very well asserted muscles and still well fed. The creature's definitely alive and still eating. You kind of take a minute looking at it more and more and examining it, and with the kind of looking at the two dog-like creatures standing beside her or sitting beside her, it clues you in. This is an aberration. As someone who studied the Monsters 5 and being a huge fan, knowing everything there is about monsters and creatures, you can tell this is an aberration, which basically to you means loosely that this means that this could be any sort of creature that doesn't classify in one of the other categories. And feel free, Key, to add in your other notes that you will have advantage on checks for, medicine check for what type of monsters they are. I figure you know that a lot.
I have a question on behalf of Key.
Okay.
Based on the fact that I'm sure they study aberration because Doc is part aberration, can they roughly pinpoint how related it is to Doc's type of aberration?
You would be able to tell that it has nothing to do. The two are far different categories.
So far opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Knowing that, Key would know that aberrations is a what we call a catch-all in a sense.
It's a broad, yeah.
So,
if you don't belong somewhere else,
you're an aberration.
Yeah.
However, Key, you do realize those two Chihuahua, 110-pound, 3-foot tall, and all 4-leg Chihuahua-looking creatures with the eye stalks for eyes. Those are beholders in disguise. That it's or some form of a beholder. You can tell just based on the anatomy of them.
I guess I'll just speak. So, is this a test, or do we just walk through?
What was our answer for the second room? Maybe we just have to say it again.
The room we got through the first time? When we enter the
Well,
dungeon?
the first one was the element room, which was the dragon, and then we put the dragon out and stuff happened. So maybe our answer for the room after that is we just say it's in this one and we get to go through.
What did
Or
we do?
we just
What did we do after Rotnavengi? Because I know the ones we did in like rough order, we had Zelman, Mel's, Belfin, and Doff were all in the same session. One of those was the second.
Mhm.
Which one was it?
If I recall,
Was it Zelman Mel's?
I believe so, because Lucius is like, let's go in that one, and Sigrun was like, this better be fun, and then it was the least fun.
The answer is Zelman Mel's backwards speaking.
How do you say hello backwards in common?
Ole.
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 Sigrun waves and like takes a second, then waves the opposite direction just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Nothing. No reaction.
I mean, we could
walk.
just explore the room until something happens.
Okay.
Or we could just walk past. Do we need something from here?
I shrug.
As you look about, you do see there are like bookshelves filled with knickknacks, like body parts and such, taxidermied monsters that you've never seen before, rare, what you were in some cases some taxidermied versions of your own races that you see, some that look like heroes that you recognize from fables that were children's stories, if anything else, but seeing them now in their full body, recognizing some of them, yeah. You also see a lot of books on the shelves that are all blank from what you can tell.
My only thought is she seems to be related more to a Rotnavingi than anyone else. With the backstory and the Scrofe booze and the... So I don't know if this is an extension of the same person or if it's someone else's trial. Like, the room gives me Blood's End vibes. But... You know, there's nothing else related to Blood's End here. I don't know. I guess I'll fly towards the door and see if anything gets angry.
Right.
Yeah, Sigrun. Well, unless Lucius doesn't move, she'd follow.
I was gonna go towards the bookshelves.
Okay. Just to confirm, Drolly, are you cutting straight through the room, or are you giving the center the center wooden throne a wide berth?
Oh, a wide berth. I'm not flying over. I don't want to get
Okay.
grabbed or something.
Hey, listen, I gotta ask. Okay, so Lucius is gonna go towards the bookshelves. Sigrun, where are you heading?
Just following Durali as like a security thing, like to help
Okay, and then
keep her safe.
and then Key.
I'll explore the room, look around, see if I can find anything that kind of stands out.
Okay. All right, then that works. We'll go top down. We're gonna start with Durali. What do you you kind of float yourself around the room, kind of passing by a few shelves, a few little different statues or taxidermy designs and such. Coming around to the other side, you see where the cave continues on, and this thick, like green metallic material, being made of, or basically barring your way. As you look about, it looks to be just a simple iron door that has spiked into the ground. It definitely hasn't been moved in probably a lot longer than you've existed.
I mean, I'll look to Stigrin and be like, I can try to unlock it the same way I unlock the chest. It's gonna be loud, but...
I mean, if she hasn't reacted to us yet, I don't see why she would now, unless she hates magic.
Alright. I mean, I'll give it a shot.
Durali kind of staring at the thing, starts to prep their spell, okay. Sigrun, as you run over there, following up behind Durali, now standing behind them as Durali's about to start a spell, what are you trying to do? Are you just going to kind of guard over them? Or?
She is going to keep an eye on the person in the room and the creatures, and if she's able, I'd like her to, specifically inspect any, potential weapons on this person, just, see if she looks very clearly like a warrior, or if she just happened more physically built species. Sigrun's trying to discern, is this someone like her, or are they just, a big person by genetics.
As you kind of give me an insight check for the first one, and then give me an investigation check for the second.
Okay, cool. Insight. Oh, that didn't roll in the box. The same fucking number. Insight, and then 9 on my investigation. I'm rolling dog shit.
Would you get on insight?
12.
12. As
I
you
rolled
look
bad.
her up and down, you don't see anything. She doesn't seem to have any items on her other than that weird-looking, giant club. But as you kind of take a look at it closer, for a moment, looking it up and down, it's a sheath. That's not her weapon, and then it kind of clues into you. That looks really familiar, that weapon. You've seen it in a book somewhere. You don't read books, but you do like the pictures of weapons. And this looks like one of the
Yeah.
weapons you've seen a picture of that was really badass looking, but you can't place it. Give me a history check.
Oh god, again. Where's my fucking D20?
Hey, Dan,
God
am I
damn.
wrong to think that if this one wanted to grab me, she could clench her hand around my entire body?
She's definitely big enough, yeah.
Well,
Oh, God.
I rolled in that 1 - 1, so 0. Unless I get advantage.
You take a minute and you think and you go, no, you don't. You know that's a weapon, but it doesn't matter. You're too strong to care. This creature can't beat you. As you take a minute.
If I don't have that weapon, I don't care.
Yeah.
Basic sheath shape, like sword, axe, like what?
The weapon. Well, so Sigrun realizes the giant club that's on sitting kind of next to the chair is actually a sheath for what looks to be a longsword of some sort.
Longsword.
But the rest of you only see what looks to be a giant club. Also, with the insight you got, Sigrun, the two Chihuahua-looking creatures that Key identified as some beholders earlier, or something of the sort, they seem to be looking towards you lot now, and seem to be focusing you.
So
The ugly things are looking at us.
out of game, that's what I thought. There's only one sword among the Lord items, if it's a Lord item that she wielded, but it's also only half of a set. So I don't know if the combined is a sword.
You take a minute. All right. Lucius, we're gonna jump over to you. What were you saying, Key?
I was just gonna say maybe, yelling at Sigurd, maybe give them some food.
I mean, do you think they eat rations?
Sigurd contemplates for a moment. Lucius, yeah, you're up. What would you like to do? Or you walk over. So you walked over to the bookshelves, finding one of the ones that's the most populated. You see strange little organs, eyes, brains, little bits, kind of floating in jars that kind of seem to look over towards you and kind of focus towards you for a moment. You see a nose of some sort of feline that seems to kind of try to sniff. You see the muscles contract, but as if it's in a jar of water kind of floating there. It's not really doing anything. You see the books themselves all seem to be blank, but all with golden leaflet and made of a weird leather binding that you're not familiar with the material. You've never seen this material before. And then a couple of skulls and other knickknack kind of hanging about the shelves. Anything you looking in for particular?
I was looking for anything that would be stand out, abnormal compared to the rest of the stuff.
As you look it over, the different knickknacks, the blank books are kind of weird. The body parts are kind of strange. I mean, there's nothing that outright catches your attention at first. With your passive perception, you do notice that there are little figurines of little beholders with different carvings of them. In the back of the bookshelf that kind of catches your attention, just being kind of unique compared to the rest of the rest of the items being these gory bits, these books that are all blank as you kind of flip through one of them. But these all seem to have different unique designs. Each one is its own version. Some are bigger, some are smaller, some are different colored, but they're all little carved out of stone and painted over, with different shapes and designs on them. They also all have a strange text written below them on this little stone block that they sit on that you can't read.
Do I have any idea what language it is?
You've never seen this. You're not even sure if it's a language or if it's just scratch marks.
Okay.
I'm having flashbacks to one of the 12 testing rooms.
Hey, everybody, I found some beholder statues back here.
As Lucius points it out. Key, what about, let's jump on to you. What would you like, what were you liking to do?
I was gonna take a look around the room, see what I could find that might be standing out.
As you see Lucius kind of digging through one of the shelves, Durali and Sigrun kind of heading around the room. You look about, you see, what catches your attention the most being a cleric is the fact that there's I use the term Salmorian because that's the name I always remember him because I can never, it's Ubika, I think I have written him in now. You see one of them as a, like, taxidermied creature, and it's massive. This thing stands about 8 foot tall easily and just as wide. You've never seen one outside of the 2 main islands that they reside on. As you kind of going over and looking at it, you see like it has a little bag on its hip of something on it. And then a strange looking, like it looks like its hand was holding something at the time that now looks to have been blank, but you can see the strange looking golden markings on the hand that like have slowly imprinted and left a color change that seem to look very similar to the one based on your passive perception to the hilt of the walking stick slash staff of the what you guys are thinking might be a corpse in the center, or what you found out was an aberration in the center.
Ooh. You said it had a bag on it?
Yes.
I'll see if I can take a look in the bag without knocking the thing over.
With your passive perception, General, you kind of moving your head about, you can see inside the bag. Give me a medicine check to see if you can figure out what it is.
33?
You haven't seen this drug in a long time, Key. Not since your early days of training, because only is this common near your homeland. A drug known as dragon skin. One of the lesser potions that the Ubika use in their day-to-day lives. It's considered one of their weaker concoctions, but even by the standards of modern medicine out in the world, this thing is beyond anything that you've ever seen. This would be the equivalent of a decent health, almost a supreme health potion as far as rarity goes. And there's about a pound of it in this bag. And based on the rest of that medicine check, let me send you exactly what the drug does. Apologies. Oh, no worries. You're good. It'll take me a second anyways to find this real quick. One moment, so I can PM it to you, so you can tell what you're looking at. You would also know that this has most commonly been known to come out into the modern world, or the common world, from the Toth, as they're the highest importers of it and exporters of it. Now, there is a description that some believe it states that it was made by an order of fighting monks in the Toth lands. However, given your experience, you know that the Toth don't have any monk orders in their holy land.
Yeah. Can I take the bag itself?
Sure. Yeah, you go.
Or if I can just get the drug out of the bag, that'd be better.
Okay, how are you gonna get the drug out of the bag?
Let's see. Is it a powder, a liquid, or just a...
It is a thick powder, from what you can tell.
Okay. Looking in my inventory, I don't have anything to store it in, so I guess I'll just take the bag.
Okay. How are you taking the bag? Are you just gonna take the knife you got and cut it off? Because it looks to be tied to the creature's belt.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take the dagger and, like, kind of gently, I don't care how long it takes, remove the, or cut the string. Or
Alright. Yeah, you start to cut it, and as you finally do, you pull it off and put it back into your own bag. As you turn around to look to see if the dogs are noticing you or if there's been any change, and you notice the two dogs seem to be staring at Durali and Sigrun as Durali is casting his spell, or her spell.
I'm gonna kind of hold out, like have my left hand pointed up and just kind of summon the cantrip light. To have a ball of light in my hand. I want to
Okay.
see something.
Alright, you suddenly, as the Sigrun kind of watching the dogs, Durali focusing on their spells, Lucius shouting about the little beholder statues, Key suddenly casts light, causing Sigrun to be slightly blinded on her side from her peripheral vision as it suddenly illuminates the entire room. What are you trying to do?
I was just trying to see if if it, have it in my hand, see if the weird beholder dogs look at me instead. See if they're looking at the magic.
As you look over, they seem to be staring straight at Durali still. And they are starting to kind of stand up, and you can see their hair is starting to stand up on their backs.
I'll drop my cast.
Okay.
Durali, what are you casting?
Knock.
What level spell would that be?
Second.
Okay. The dogs are staring and their hair is starting to stand up.
I guess I'll pause what I'm doing.
As you do, you suddenly see both of them sit back down and kind of start panting again.
They don't want me to open the door.
How else are we going to get out, though?
I mean, we have the option of talking to the lady.
I mean, talk to us. Sigrun, like, dubiously eyes the woman who's thus far been completely silent and still.
It's kind of creepy at this point as you look over Sigrun that she's not moved even an inch. That you'd expect someone, they would have somehow.
Quick question. Just because Sigrun would have personal experience, can she detect anything, any, like, energy signature, like, visual signs, any marks, anything? Give Sigrun the impression that this woman's some form of undead, like a revenant, like she was.
Give me a, let's say, insight.
Okay. Hopefully I roll better than a fucking 5 this time. Ha. That'll be a 21.
With a 21, you kind of taking a look, you do know she's got a lot of scars on her body, as you see markings all over her arms, her chest, her abs. There are some brutal marks that you can see, some battle scars that you kind of are slightly impressed by for a moment, recognizing that these could only be delivered by powerful monsters or opponents. But as you look up and down, she's definitely not undead. There's no like coldness to her. There's no like strangeness. If she's an aberration, I mean, given your adventuring experience, you know at the very least that aberrations are creatures that are all weird because of the fact that they can't fit into the category of anything else. So, commonly, yeah, you're looking at this creature, there's got to be something different about it that makes it so it can't categorize as it. If it was undead, you'd assume that this thing would have been easily noted as an undead.
Cool. Just was curious if that was the stillness. Sigrun, like, the person, and then go, oh, by the way, not sure if it's very important, but that's a sheath. So somewhere, there's a giant sword to go in that. And if you see it, let me know. Assuming she doesn't want it anymore, I do.
So,
Oh, if this is the Lord's Dungeon, which I know it is, I don't know what all the weapons are aren't all the Lord weapons like scattered elsewhere at this point?
I think so.
I mean, they've been popping up in random places.
The question is, which fucking lord's shit is this? As she like looks around,
Oh yeah. The question lies: is she a lord or is she related to a lord? And since we're told all the lords are dead except for Nero, who's sealed somewhere, she's got to be related to one.
maybe she's just fill-in.
If y'all want, I can go through the means of casting augury and ask my god.
If you believe your god will answer, sure. I just would like to move on, but it seems if we open the door via magic, the creatures will get mad.
You see like a
I'm gonna-
little Uzi drop that comes off one of the eye stalks as you look at them cigarette.
I
I want to
have
try.
never
Yeah.
wanted to kill something more.
I want to fly back around, like, along the edge of the room back to the front, and I'm going to slowly walk towards them closer and closer and see if the dogs or her react at all.
Okay.
As I slowly walk forward.
As you kind of fly around, as Lucius is kind of still looking at each of the beholders' statues after pointing out, you kind of fly back around to next to him and start walking straight forward towards it. The dogs don't seem to react as they continue to stare at Sigrun. One now with its tongue kind of sitting out to the side, panting and giving a weird, like, high-pitched yelp every once in a while as it kind of scoots its butt around.
Does she, if I hold it out in front of me, because we just got a room, does she react to me having a Rotten of Envy's combined staff?
As you hold it out, she's not moving.
Maybe you read her one of the books you found. Maybe she likes bedtime stories.
There's nothing in them.
No, the book's in the previous room.
Oh, okay.
I don't speak giant.
I speak giant.
As you're looking about, with the passive perception key, suddenly you notice a little black gecko hanging up on one of the shelves that suddenly appears out of the wall.
Oh, this
Oh,
is
this-
probably fucking Belf's room.
How
That
is
was
she-
the second one.
How is she related to Belf?
There's a black.
Maybe he's her
Wait,
patron.
As Key
So-
kind of points up towards the top shelf, like about 40 feet up in the air, hanging on a very loose board, you suddenly, as you all look up, you see the little gecko just kind of, or little chameleon just kind of hanging out there.
Fuck, what was his answer?
I'd like to just say the word knowledge.
Nothing
Because
happens.
that was Belf's answer.
And nothing seems to happen. It goes. The room stays silent, and you see the little creature seems to disappear into a black light, and then seems to suddenly reappear a few feet over at the top of some sort of weird antlered-looking deer-like creature that has a wolf's face. As Key kind of points it out again.
I
Well,
Also,
if the
remember,
answer is
well, keep in mind, Belf wasn't a gecko either.
No, I
Is it
said
real?
I did say chameleon. I did change what I
Okay.
stated. Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, that's a different creature. I'm being played.
if the answer has to do with knowledge, maybe we have to like a thing in this room to leave. There's a lot of dead shit in here. Or maybe we have to determine what or who she is. And like jerks a thumb towards the lady in the room.
I have a spell for that. I just don't think it's gonna go well if I cast it. I have detect thoughts. I don't know if I should be rooting in the thoughts of creatures this powerful.
I would.
yeah.
I feel like you will succumb to Eldritch Madness.
Well,
if you
the
do.
only option is if I don't delve further, I only get surface.
do it on the
A moment
dogs.
later, you see the creature disappears, and as Lucius kind of still like looking through the bookshelves, suddenly it appears right in front of you, Lucius. This vent black chameleon staring at you with its like tongue slightly hanging out.
I'd like to cast detect thoughts on the woman on the throne.
Okay.
Just the serum will detect thoughts.
You watch as you cast this. Key holds out some rations. The chameleon suddenly teleports onto Key's arm and starts like tearing at it. Key, you feel it's ripped from your hand without any issue. I would give you a strength save, but you can't make it. So as you feel it pulled away, suddenly Durali, give me one moment. Let me roll for something.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. Meanwhile, Lucius, while I roll that up, seeing these statues, did you want to do anything with them, or looking and seeing what's happening? Is there anything you want to do as a reaction?
I wanted to look at the. I know you said couldn't really understand them or know what it said, but I'd like to look at the markings on each one a little closer.
Okay. As you kind of grab them, as they're kind of like slowly kind of moving them with your finger one way or the other, to see if there's any like button or something that's going to set off a trap. Being extremely cautious, you finally realizing that there's nothing there. You pick up two of them and kind of pull them towards you and looking at them. You do see that the little like scratch marks are different in different designs and different lines. However, as you look at them, they still don't make any sense. There's no like alphabet. There's no language that this reads into. You've never seen this before.
Does anybody else want to come look at these?
As you
I mean, Sigrun can. I don't know if she'll be much help.
Suddenly, as Sigrun kind of walks around, Key, you said what was that?
I said I can come and help after I'm done with this.
Okay.
What's gonna happen?
Sigrun kind of walks around. Key is still like holding the bottom wrapper of her rations as this chameleon tears at it. Suddenly, Durali, in your head, you hear, "Man, this creature must be really hungry."
Wait, from who?
In a female's voice.
Oh, see, because I direct who I'm targeting, so this is the teeth looking.
This is the voice you hear. This is the thoughts you hear.
So, okay, then I'm gonna try something. It says on the spell questions verbally directing the target shape in the course of thought, so the spell's right. I'm gonna ask, who are you? And see how the thoughts are shaped.
You suddenly see the Monstrous Five with their pictures everywhere in a locked room and a little fanboying turtle girl, just excited about their newest little like mold earth statue that they have of one of the members that they have in their room they created. As you see a little Key like unlocking a chest and then seeing the other figurines of the Monstrous Five.
I think Key's head.
Yeah, you're detecting Key's thoughts.
Wait.
What are you doing in here?
Wait. No, you can't feel anything. There's no resistance.
I know.
So, that's worrying, because that spell can't be resisted. I mean, technically the spell doesn't do over, so I'll try to refocus on the tiefling. I want to see if it bounces to a different person.
Okay. You watch as the rations are finally swallowed down by the chameleon. Sigrun, you walk over to Lucius. You see he's holding up these two beholders that are, one's clearly painted like a very bright mossy green. The other's like almost a purplish blue color with a big gray eye and has only 7 stalks instead of 8. Both of them have strange like scratch marks on them, but I mean, they're beholders. They're little beholder statues.
These are beholders.
Does any of this make sense to you? And I point at the scratches.
Sigrun,
I will.
Yeah, as you look at
peer closer.
Give me a history check.
Oh boy, I'm so good at history.
I know.
Watch this.
I'm so happy you're doing all these rolls.
12.
12. It's chicken scratch. You've never seen worse chicken scratch. You had a cousin once that supposedly learned to write that looked like this, but this is you have no idea what this reads.
These look like the scratches of a madman. It is if it is a language, do not speak it or read it, I guess.
Well, I appreciate the help, Sickern.
One of them's missing an eye, though. That could be important. Maybe the extra eye is, I don't know. She like takes a glance at the many shelves around.
As you kind of look around, you start to see the little different beholder statues in the background. There's about 5 for each shelf. You kind of start to think and like try and figure out how many there are, and you start to lose count after a while, giving up on trying to figure that out. As the little chameleon seems to pop away once again, now suddenly appearing in front of Sigrun and Lucius, and standing on Lucius's arm as he's kind of holding up these 2 beholders to them. Durali casts the spell again. Lucius, what's going on in your mind right now?
Oh, I'm just over there like, man, I wish one of the smart people would come look at these.
You
say that like... So, fun fact, none of us have that high of an intelligence.
In your head, you suddenly hear these thoughts of, man, I really miss having intelligent party members who could figure this stuff out for me.
Exactly.
And as you are trying to think, and you're just kind of looking, as you look on at the woman sitting in this chair for a moment, hearing these thoughts.
Alright. I'm taking drastic...
What were you saying, Key? What's up?
No, I'm just gonna look at the tiefling and say, I'll come back to you, and I go over to Sigurd and Lucius.
Okay. She kind of walk over, ignoring. As Durali's like trying to solve this situation, the 3 of you like staring at these little beholder figures.
No. Oh, don't worry, DM. It's time for drastic. This might hurt me terribly, and Durali knows it, but it's got to be done.
Okay. Durali looking over at the party members, sighing with annoyance, and then looking back at
Durali take a deep breath, and I'm gonna try and connect to the chameleon.
Oh no.
And I'm as it connects, are you Lord Belf?
Do I have a madness table still set up?
I know this isn't gonna go well.
Did you just say madness table?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said I know this is gonna be bad.
I literally said earlier you're gonna go into Eldritch Madness, and you.
But I'm hoping I get the one answer I want before I go mad.
All right.
Yes.
Give me an intelligence check.
That's a 9.
Okay. All right. Now give me a D100.
Yep. 75.
All right. As you start to take a minute, you ask this question as you try to delve deeper within the creature's mind, and you ask this questions, and you just see. You don't get an answer. You see in your head a big toothy grin that starts to cause your brain to slightly crack. And as this happens, you all kind of see as, for a moment, it looks as if Durali kind of, like their head slightly twitches to the left just really sharply, and their right eye starts to kind of blink uncontrollably, and then they seem to come back to normalcy.
Durali just lays down on the floor and just stares wide-eyed at the ceiling.
As you all kind of are staring at your the little figurines, looking over, seeing Durali kind of sitting there now, staring up at the ceiling.
I will now move to Dural.
Keep turning around and rushing over to Durali's side.
I want to see if I can figure out what is going on, what's wrong with her. Why would she randomly just fall over and stare at the ceiling?
Give me an insight check. Unless you, it depends. Are you trying to figure out if there's something medically wrong, like damage-wise, or are you trying to figure out if something happened to her? What's the exact?
Like something would happen to
Okay.
her that would have caused this.
Okay, yeah, give me an insight check.
That's a 29.
As you look Durali up and down, kind of inspecting everything, you realize it's definitely whatever happened. It looks like it happened as Durali kind of was looking at the chameleon and casting something, and then just strangely enough, this result, you're not sure what happened. There's nothing physically wrong with them, but they seem to have a slightly blank look on their face.
I'll check medically now.
Okay, give me a medicine check.
A 19.
Durali is physically perfectly healthy, a little on the older side, but for her age, she's probably one in top 10 for the physical capabilities for her race.
Then I'll just start talking. Durali, you okay? Wake up. Blink twice if you're okay.
Durali mechanically blinks twice.
Okay, we're gonna set up a system. Blink once for yes, blink twice for no. Do you understand?
When Key says blink once for yes, she blinks. When Key says blink twice, she blinks twice, and then she just stares.
Lucius and
Well, I have a bad feeling about that.
Yeah, you see as Key's kind of doing an inspection, you're watching this.
Sigrun and I are just watching like concerned
Yeah.
parents.
I like Sigrun more confused than concerned, but yeah, she's like doesn't get good vibes from this.
The chameleon suddenly vanishes completely. It does not seem to reappear anywhere else.
Okay, I guess in order to try and figure this out, I would cast Greater Restoration and see if that changes anything.
Okay. Yeah, as you start to cast Greater Restoration, at what level is it? Just to remind me.
5th level.
5th level. Yeah, as you cast the spell out, calling out to your god, whispering a prayer, suddenly, Durali, your madness disappears.
Durali kind of twitches and then sits up.
Okay, now let's see if you're okay. All right, follow my finger, and I'll start moving it left and right.
I mean, I'll follow it.
Okay.
So did you just fry your brain?
I look to Lucius. Probably look back to Durali.
That chameleon is beyond all comprehension.
Oh.
I could have told you that.
Yeah, never look into, I'm assuming, Belf's brain.
You suddenly
didn't go-
see it appear on Lucius' shoulder, just standing there staring at you, Durali.
I'm not doing it again.
I turn to look and see what she's staring at.
You see the chameleon's eyes, which normally are on the side of its head, kind of like going in different directions, have both seemed to focus forward onto Durali now.
Kind of lean to the right, lean to the left.
It does not change its look. It is locked eyes with Durali.
I would like to look at the chameleon and say destination.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
turn to the side and slight smile in your head going off, and as you say destination, the creature suddenly, the eyes kind of turn, and no one else other than Key catches the slight glimpse of excitement appear from the creature due to Key's passive perception, and you suddenly feel magical energy going around you, and it goes, confirmation.
Oh.
As it suddenly speaks in common, this the slight voice echoing out as the chameleon opens its mouth and looks at. Suddenly, its head kind of slightly turns to look at Lucius. Lucius,
Oh boy.
do you confirm?
Yes.
As you nod yes, you all suddenly see Lucius disappear,
Oh boy.
and a few
Yeah,
moments later, all one by one, you see Sigrun vanishes, then Key.
Oh,
And then, Durali, you're still standing there for a moment as you vanish as well.
Before it happens, is it a spell?
It is.
What level?
It is, from what you can tell, give me an Arcana check.
I swear, if you counter spell it, just
No, it's not
Here.
counter. I'm asking for 18. It's for a different reason.
18. It is between 8th to 10th level from what you gather.
I eat it with the staff.
You sure? You sure about that?
I don't know. Thinking about it. I'll let it happen.
A little
Fine.
warning sign has popped up and suddenly in front of you. Says, confirm yes or no.
I'll let it happen. I wanted to try the staff.
Alright.
Fine. I won't eat it.
Wait, what?
I won't eat it. I'm
Are you
going.
sure? No, I mean, like, I'm just wanting to make sure to confirm that you're doing this before I have you do this.
I feel like Belf will get mad. I'll just let it happen.
You're 100% sure?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. As you decide to ignore it and you disappear, you hear a slight chuckle come from the woman sitting in the chair as you suddenly see a light glimpse around you and you disappear. First, Lucius, you are the first one to show up as you appear at the bottom. What you sense is way below the ground, deep beneath the earth. Thousands of miles down from what you can tell, not being able to get a full grasp of it. Hordes of gold, piles of artifacts, items of magical power. You can sense such dense magic that you feel like if you cast a cantrip, it would come off as a 12th level spell in this room right now. As all around you the magic is so thick, as giant golden pillars hold up this room of undescript design, of simple marble floorings, there is endless from what you can see as you look about you. It just continues on for miles. You see nothing. The gecko no longer appearing on your shoulder as then Sigrun appears suddenly right next to you, then followed by Key, and then finally by Durali, who looks slightly annoyed with contemplation on their face as well. You all look about and you sense the room. The gecko is gone, or not the gecko, the chameleon is gone.
Pretty rude.
That's happened.
You know, I don't really know if where we're supposed to be or not. And I'm just like looking around the room.
You see,
Yep.
even with if you rolled a perfect perception, you can see for miles this room goes on in any direction. Yes.
Now that the effect, can I share the madness and what it was?
Yeah, you're welcome to.
That's why I was acting like that.
Okay.
As you all kind of look about, you're just surrounded by gold piles, like I said, items, artifacts, swords, armors, materials you've never seen, things that you can't even comprehend. And then as you start to kind of look about for a few moments, then in front of you appears simply 13 pillars.
Oh, not again.
And as each appears, you see a statue of each of the 12 lords, and then finally, what looks to be at the very end, a little like brazier appears on the 13th one, with what looks to be a black flame that is slowly emanating from the brazier. And then you suddenly see as in front of you appears a very simplistic-looking elven woman. Very basic, very common features, very soft, pale skin, a couple of freckles, traditional green eyes, long, blondish hair, very androgynous-looking body, wearing what looks to be silk robes, suddenly appears, and you see a bright light kind of emanating from them slightly. They stand and kind of roughly about 4'5" as you kind of all look down at this creature as it appears. Sigrun, by the way, still in her massive fucking form this entire
Yep.
time. As you all see this, and she just kind of walks down one by one, touching each of the objects until she comes to the last, the 13th object, the brazier, and then seems to kind of shy away from it. She comes walking in front of each of you and smiles, and she goes, "You have completed the 12 Lords' Tower at the behest of one of the requesters of your presence. As such, you are given the opportunity to choose. I cannot tell you what you're choosing. I cannot tell you what will come of what you choose. All that I may say is that you have an option. You may choose one of these 12. You may choose the brazier. And then suddenly, as you hear the creaking of wood and metal coming behind you as a doorway appears, the same doorway design as the one that you entered into the tower originally from. And she looks back at it and she goes, or you may choose that door. The choice is each of yours individually. You must make this decision.
Who wants to make a choice first?
And she kind of pauses and then looks about and goes, what you learned in the tower through the trials that you took will help you decide the best decision for each of you. And she disappears suddenly as she sparks away into light.
I'm going to post, because if it's based on that, the answer
Yeah,
to...
I was gonna ask. Because I remember most of them, but there's like one or two I'm not certain on.
I was gonna say, completely out of character, this is kind of funny to think about. Okay, so we would have, because I'm taking it as, we would have gotten the answer on what to choose by doing the entire dungeon. The entire thing. All floors. And we just skipped all of it.
Some weren't proper, but here's the rough... Because that was the answers that got us out of each room.
Okay. I don't think it would even occur. I wanted to ask to roll like insight or intelligence or something to determine. Actually, yeah. Does the brazier seem like very clearly magical?
Yes, but you can all sense there's magic so thick in this
Cool.
room that you know
I was
that
sure
the
Rune could, given she wasn't a magic user, but cool,
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah, the magic is so thick in this room that you can sense pretty much all of it around you as well.
Does anything in here look even a little aged?
As you look about the little pillars, the little statues of each of the 12 lords, the brazier, the gold on the sides, give me a perception check.
Thus and the looks of high perception, that's 6.
Nothing sticks out, but you don't notice any aging, no rust marks, no nothing, but most of the gold is too far away from you at this point to really get a good clear view to identify any markings. Most of the metals and armor seem to be too distant from you.
Okay,
Do
that'll
they...
already know. I'm really tempted to activate Cavalcade to see what happens.
Question: are these like the doors we saw previously, where their eyes seem to follow us? Do their eyes...
As you look at them, they do not. They seem to be solid statues.
Okay. I was just wondering if that was like a thing that had persisted. Are we choosing which to bring back, or are we choosing whose mantle to take up? As Sigrun's just kind of contemplatively looking over these statues and voicing her thoughts out loud.
Durali's just quietly looking down at her staff, which is the exact same one in Rottenvengi's hand.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't... The rest of us don't have any Great Lord objects, do we?
No, Monday Purdy has all the rest of them that have been
I was
found.
gonna say, if I would have made our choices based off that, but you're literally the only one with
And by
one.
DM, I'm gonna slowly walk towards a Rottenvengi statue.
Okay. Alright. The rest of you?
I'm so...
I'll give you a sec.
Yeah, I'm very torn on some stuff right now.
Durali, as you walk over to the statue, Key, are you still thinking?
I'm thinking. I'm sending you what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Can I...
I mean, personally-wise, you agreed with Himkin the most.
What was your question, Sigrun?
Just I know it's very outlandish, but I'm just wondering... Sigrun's obviously used to having had Cyrus and now having some weird, connection to Zarius. If she takes a moment to close her eyes and sort of meditate in a way she rarely does, but kind of reaching out to any like leftover divine connection she had or has. Does she, like when she was a revenant, she had a gut feeling that would pull her towards her fate, towards her goal. If she closes her eyes, does she feel that at all in this room? Like any gut feeling, any like instinct, or any like divine or otherwise fate that's like pulling her towards an option?
Give me a d20 roll.
Because that's what I'm most about in this moment for her. Okay, d20 roll. A 19. I don't know if that's good or bad, but you know, I rarely roll those.
You, for a moment, you see Sigrun's back past and everything before. She takes a moment, just starts to kind of breathe and thinking about everything that's gone up to this point and looking on. She starts to contemplate, and she sees two paths before her. She sees one where she thinks she'll be happy with Zarius, and another where she is leading her people to a new future.
Hey, DM.
That's where it's yes.
Let's make this fun. With a 22, what does my Grim psychometry show me?
You bastard.
No!
I was hoping you'd do this.
As you start to see, as Durali walks forward, kind of getting ready to grasp the statue, you and Sigrun contemplating, he kind of rubbing their own chin, thinking about it. You take a minute, and as your eyes roll back into your head, you watch as you see suddenly two giant chihuahua-looking like creatures that now stand almost 30 feet tall, just as long, with large eye stalks come charging out of these shadows around you. As you see adventurers kind of picking up gold pieces from the sides. Then it kind of stops for a moment and it continues on. This one's actually for free because you can't roll low enough on your history check to get this wrong.
Cool.
Yeah, that's why I'm not making a roll for it. As you then see these statues, it seems to kind of phase out on you and kind of blocking out the vision as you can't roll high enough to get this one, unfortunately, as it takes for a second. But you sense that there's something to do with these statues is ominous for a moment. And the last thing you see is the people just leaving. As one of them seems to turn back, run, and grab one of the statues, you watch as each of the four figures watch as their heads suddenly pop off and fall to the ground. So coming to the understanding that if you take any of the coin or any of the gold around you, or if not all of you make the same decision to leave, you will die.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
So we all die
We
if
don't-
one of us chooses to leave?
Yeah, if you don't all choose to leave together, is what you gather from that, and you gather that from looking at it, it looks like picking up any of the loot on the sides will get you killed as well.
So
Okay, but nothing with the specific rooms themselves.
The statues themselves, no. As that scene, for a second, you see a group of adventurers like going and looking at each of the statues, but the vision seems to cut there, not giving you anything else.
Well,
So don't steal and don't run away.
so
if one of us want to leave, we all have to.
we all have to leave. I'm assuming it's like those. We have to make a confirmed decision of like each of us grabbing a statue or each of us leaving.
While each of you take a minute to voice your thoughts
Did-
and think amongst the party, the DM is gonna grab water real quick. Ooh, did you have a question?
Well, shit,
Sigrun?
I was gonna say, I wasn't sure if Lucius would have saw. Did any of the people in the visions choose, like, two people choose the same statue?
Nope, only, like I said, only seeing that all
Cool.
of them have to leave, or the vision that he sees as a group of adventurers like standing in front of the statues, grabbing them,
Mhm.
seems to cut out and not give him
Okay.
anything. So,
Cool.
yeah, I'll give you guys a minute.
Party time.
There's
Party discussion time.
a chance
Guys.
that this is like the other rooms, and what she said about the individual visions is a lie, and we have to choose the same thing.
And I will say,
I-
his vision said nothing about the Brazier of Blackfire.
That's true. No one in the past has even thought about the brazier.
Well, that's the question. Is there a statue of Nero, or is there the Brazier of Blackfire? Because he's
No.
very often associated with.
DM said there's 12 statues and the brazier. So Nero is one of the brazier is separate. It's its own thing.
Because the thing is, I'm partly worried for the statues if we're choosing, because wasn't the whole thing is if you complete the dungeon, you become the new lord. So if we're choosing a statue, are we replacing someone? Becoming them, like gaining their
There's-
power?
yeah.
Are we bringing them back?
No, I think we're becoming the inheritor of their will.
Yeah, because that's my thing is, if I choose one of them, do they do they possess us? Because the choices for Sigrun that would fit her best, I'm worried about
I don't
the
think it's possession.
will of them.
Remember, their souls and everything are long dead. There's only a fragment of them left in those rooms, and even they
Cool.
die.
But then again, I am also worried that us choosing, like you said, it's a thing we have to choose all of them, or like what the brazier means.
I'll say I don't know what brazier means.
I will say,
That's
Is it?
I did message DM about it. I'm getting the feeling that the brazier is a separate option entirely. It's not related to the lords at all.
Well, yeah, because I think the door is deciding us to just leave. That's just us getting out of here.
Yeah,
Which seems pointless because we came all this way.
yeah, and
Statues
we
are
won't be able to
probably
come back.
us continuing the Lord's mission of what they were trying to do. The brazier's some kind of third option.
Do you think the brazier? My guess, because it's fire and because it's a brazier, it's
Yeah.
either starting anew in the sense that if we are taking on the will of the lords by choosing their statues, that we wipe the slate clean and we make a new thing as the new lords, or the black fire because it's black and ominous. It's gonna just everything, and it's a maybe not an evil option, but a fuck all this history or something. I don't know.
I'm not against brazier as an option.
I did.
The thing is,
what it was going to be. It would just be either wipe out every possible.
besides you having Aratnavengi's staff, I don't think any of the rest of us have an exceptional connection to them. If that makes
I
sense.
have one with one in a way. I
Yeah,
have the Great Wolf connection.
Oh.
From the Viking
yeah.
trophy.
I was gonna say Sigrun can relate to a couple of the lords, but I don't know that she has a. That's why I asked DM about the fate role. Nothing about Sigrun's particularly connects to the lords.
But based on the door thing, and if anyone chooses something else, it goes against. I think since the brazier, we might all have to pick the brazier if that's our choice.
Might be.
Because I think it's either we each pick a statue, we each leave, or we all pick the brazier. I think that's the game here.
But I'm still stuck on if us choosing the statues is us just picking up their will and getting boons or something from them,
Well,
or if us choosing the statues means something else.
I'm willing to bet picking the statue is you get their weapon and you inherit their mission.
Because I feel gear-wise, we are fairly decently decked out. The brazier is more exciting, but it's also a gamble because if choosing the statues gives us boons, then
Alright, real quick. Key, as you kind of walk over looking at the fire and kind of holding over a little stick you find from one of your, from your boots that have kind of tracked with you after a while, holding it over the fire, you do watch that it slightly burns the wood, but as you, your hand gets closer to it, you don't feel any burning on your own body.
Burns the wood, but not her hand.
So, technically the stick isn't alive, so it'd burn away dead. Or resources.
Do any of the magic casters want to try to identify what school of magic that fire is? Because that could help us.
If I cast Detect Magic here, I'm probably going to go mad based on the magic and everything.
Not detect magic, just an Arcana check.
I don't think any of
was my.
I will take Arcana checks if anyone wants to try for it.
I'll try. I don't think any of us
Do
have
any?
Is
I
it
know
Fae,
you-
Fiend, or Undead related?
It is not.
No? Okay.
Ooh,
Nat 20.
interesting.
Nat 1 for a 4.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Alright,
Two ends of the
He got
spectrum.
an 8, and Sigrun rolling?
Do you want? Yeah, sure. I'll have Sigrun roll my -1 Arcana. Might as well.
Nat 20.
I got a 9.
Okay. Starting with Lucius. Lucius, you contemplate for a minute. You look at it. You sense the magic in the air. There's magic in the air. You're 100%
Hey guys,
sure.
this is magic.
Yeah. You kind of look at all of them as they all like focus in on it. Key and Sigrun, as you kind of take a look at it, you're pretty sure it's definitely a school of magic. It has to be. It has to.
You're
follow
right,
one of them.
Lucius. By the gods, it's magic.
It might have been.
Durali's sitting. I'm not gonna say it, but she's thinking, I hate you.
Durali, this is a mix. This is two spells you can tell are mixed together. One is divination and one is necromancy.
Oh.
So while you guys yelling this is magic, this is divination and necromancy. In some not sure.
I was correct.
We weren't wrong.
But since it's necromancy based, there's a small chance it's gonna revive the lords.
Do we think that would be a good or bad thing, given the fact that the gods have been doing some fuckery lately?
I think it would be a net positive.
I gestured to the one that was committing mass massacre and slaughtering just for the hell of it.
Which
Nadav?
Which one? Nadav?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I said net positive, because most of them will help. Most.
The thing is, the world is at risk of ending right now, right? Assuming we get power from the statue we choose and we leave, if we go to try to save the world, there's only so many of us we fail versus 12 lords. But at the same time,
11, because if it's revival, one of them's not dead.
were we not told that by that one that Naro being released was a bad thing?
They alluded to it, but then
The
they didn't
Toth?
call it either.
Or
Mhm.
was that in the world news that the Toth was trying to
Yeah,
do that?
yeah, that is correct. The World News did confirm that the Toth are the ones who are trying to let Nero free.
Mm-hmm. We might
And
just
the
be
Toth are
speeding
trying
up.
to release
Hmm.
Nero.
I will
No,
slightly
what-
mention, you will all have noticed that if any of you have a World News bracelet, the crystal has shattered.
Yeah.
That's good.
I
Also,
My
I
fucking
thought we
thing.
learned the Nero thing from Blood's End, because he mentioned it.
yeah. Yeah, he
Yes,
did.
Oh,
Lucius also knows from the World News, and so would Sigrun, as far as it goes, because that was mentioned in the World News.
Yeah, because Blood's End mentioned that the robot's army was unintentionally feeding them what they needed for the ritual.
Yeah, and I was basically implied that him being like released was a bad thing. I don't remember the exact wording, but I know it was like not a positive.
But at the same time, Blood's End was also confident that Nero wasn't the strongest of all of them.
Huh.
Because he did allude that. He's like, yeah, because when you mentioned to him that Nero said he was the strongest, he basically said, yeah, he's a cocky idiot.
I thought that was Sigrun making comments about Himkin defeating Blood's End at his place.
No, that's
I know
when
she
he
talked
talked
about that.
real defeat and he ran off. That was the other thing.
Oh.
So I still think if it does what I think it does, which I don't think it does, but if it does, I'd say it's a net positive.
It would not be the first time in my lifetime alone has gone through major insane change, as it were.
Hey, Durali make the point. The world's ending anyway. Can we really make it worse?
I suppose it's less of a question of what happens and more of a question of do we play it safe or take a risk? As she like kind of gestures to the brazier. The statues, although uncertain baseline of what they are because they are a lord, but the braziers, despite the type of magic, is unknown.
It's also divination, which is usually scrying spells.
Divination
That's a weird mix.
doesn't it deal with? Yeah, I'm not magic person. I'm, correct me if wrong. Doesn't divination have connection to? I thought the lords were against gods.
Well, we also learned that two of the lords were gods,
That too.
and that we
You
found
can
out.
definitely make it worse.
Okay, can we make it worse? Yes. But even if we don't, the world's still gonna end. Is what we're basically being fed here by everyone. So it'll end the world faster. In the worst case.
Hey, Key.
Yes.
The augury from your god? Ask your god if we choose the brazier if everyone fucking
true.
dies.
If there's a time for, well, it won't do that. It'll just say wheel or woe, or wheel and woe, or neither.
All right.
Wheel, like on a cart?
No, like wheel bad, wheel good, woe bad, I believe.
So I'm gonna
Like
sit,
wheelie good? Interesting.
I'll sit a good distance from the brazier and cast augury.
All right. Okay.
It'll take about a minute, then it starts up.
You all watch as Keese kind of like sits down, crossing their legs, starts to get into a meditation of sorts for a moment, and then normally Key would get a vision in their head, but due to the intensity of the magic in the room, you all see as suddenly you find yourself sitting on a beach with this giant turtle sitting back on a chair, enjoying the warm breeze, drinking something out of a coconut. He kind of looks over at all of you and like smiles, and you feel warmth in your bodies as for a moment you feel relaxed. Everything about you calms, the stresses, the muscles, finally relax for a moment. And he looks over at Key, and then he just kind of draws a giant wheel and like creates a little wagon and sends it over to Key. And he, as it kind of does, you watch as it starts to come to you, Key, and then it explodes out, destroying it. As then the vision slowly starts to fade, that warmth disappearing from the coldness of being so deep within the earth and in this tower. And the strange kind of staticky, jerking feeling causing most of your guys' nerves to go on edge due to the amount of magic in the air. You all watch as the beach fades away and the god disappears. Key, you get wheel and woe.
Wheel and woe. Okay, good and bad.
bad.
I think all of these have good and bad, though.
So
Yeah.
it will be. I think it will be good at first, and then it will all slowly go bad.
I guess
Isn't that just the description of the world right now, like in general?
Yeah.
the question is, which do we think give us the wheel and others woe? Because if we choose the brazier and it brings the lords or someone else back, it could give them wheel and us woe. Or same with the statues.
Well, no. Wheel and woe is always directed at the person casting, so it's wheel and woe for Key.
Well, you have I don't know how to put this. You are much more sensitive to the morals.
Wasn't Sigrun basically given the thought of like both two options, one bad and one good?
Oh, and Sigrun's thing out of character, she was like shown two like paths. Was she?
Yeah, you were shown two paths. You saw one that saw you going with Zarius, and you saw the other that showed you leading your people to prosperity.
Yeah, so I mean, technically
you.
good in both ways.
I guess both good.
Good for in both ways, but like bad for other people.
Turns out fucking a Beyond God guarantees you some benefits at the
You
end.
get freedom no matter what. The rest of us are
Yeah, Sigrun's got it hard locked that whatever ending she gets, she's gonna be okay. But for her people, there's a chance of like a bad ending. And I guess for Zarius, maybe?
in Sigrun's vision of leading their people, were they carrying any weird equipment? Anything they didn't have?
I think she just saw it, but yeah, did they?
No, it would look just like Sigrun in the modern. It's not a divination or anything. It's just Sigrun's sense of like doom coming towards her.
My hope was, I was hoping Sigrun just be holding a lord and be like, oh, that's what it does.
No, she looks identical as what from what she describes herself, explaining that it's not real divination, like I said.
I think it was just Sigrun kind of sorting her in her mind. I know the path I seek, and I'm not sure if any of these particularly help or harm that, given I don't know what they do. So I suppose, in the manner of most choices I have made on my adventures, I turn to you, fellow comrades, companions.
Well, unfortunately,
what do you think?
The elf that was just in here said that it was our decision to make individually.
Hmm.
So the only non-individual decision we have is if one wants to leave, well, we better do a consensus or we're all gonna die.
Is that elf still in the room?
No, she faded away into light when she finished explaining.
Cool.
So, does anyone want to leave? I guess we can lead with that.
It
Just a
seems cowardly to leave after everything.
All right, Lucius, yes or no?
To what?
Do you want to leave?
No.
Key?
I don't think leaving is a good option. Someone might come in after us and, immediately get this reward.
Okay.
I agree. Worse people could be making these choices.
Then I guess the decision lies. Do we, and this could be completely wrong, I'm going on very little information, do we continue the Lord's work? Or do we take a mystery option that's apparently both good and bad?
I
don't think there's a wrong answer here.
Well, if we're supposed to make the does talking really help, or do we truly believe we must all choose the brazier for it to work?
Well, based on what happened with the door option, there's a chance that if three of us pick statues, one picks the brazier. The same might.
I would not mind continuing on legacy, but to be honest, in my life, there's been very little time I have ever followed in someone's footsteps. The things I have done, as far as I'm aware, are not nothing similar has happened in my people's stories. To choose an unknown answer that sort of strikes out on its own, separate from everything, is very me, I suppose. But at the same time, if you all choose a statue and we believe that it will continue on a legacy, I will have my pick among them.
Lucius, do either of you feel inclined to pick the brazier over the statues?
Hold for just a second on my answer.
Do you want me to PM it to you, Robert, or do you want me to say it out loud?
You can say it out loud if you want.
Okay.
Damn.
You once again take a second and really focusing, try to see if you see anything evil or villainous, and you try to focus your mind on if there's any difference, and you come to the realization, as the image doesn't seem to give you anything, no one's ever made this decision before. This what it's showing you right now is basically what you managed to gather based on people who failed to pass the test properly and just went and made a mistake by becoming greedy. It seems as you're looking through his vision, you can't get anything because it's just never been done. There's no sense of menace because no one knows.
So it's a whole ass mystery.
Yeah. I will say there will be a pause for a moment that I'll need after you guys make your decision for what happens to give a full description. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Ooh.
Going
Spicy.
on that, the argument of people who pick the statue and the world's still ending.
Sorry?
I'd like to make an argument to the party.
What was that question?
No, I made an argument to the party of people have picked the statues before, but the world's still ending.
Sure.
No, people have never picked the statue before.
No one's picked the statues before. That's why
the only people that have gotten here before have made a mistake and gotten killed.
Yeah, they went. They either one of them decided to stay and all the others left, or someone tried to go for the loot around them, thinking it was more worth it just to steal that. No one's ever made this decision before, so that's why there's literally nothing that Lucius can gather. Yeah.
Out of character, I do think the statues are probably the safer choice, but I'll be honest, I feel like most of us are really close to level 20, still ending, and I don't know how much more magical items we could fit in our collective inventory.
Maya, for
I'm
feel.
totally cool to go for the brazier.
Maya, do you want to know what my staff does in dormant form as a Rotnavengi staff?
What does it
Dorm-
do?
Plus 10 to hit,
Damn.
plus 10 to all spell attack rolls. It has 100 charges. I can eat any spell that targets just me. It explodes and
The
does
thing,
one.
though,
If I break it,
Monday has the item, so unless us choosing the statue teleports the item to us and fucks over Monday, I feel like most of the items are called for.
Monday only has 2 completed items.
Oh, you made it sound like they had a bunch.
Well, they have some half items that they're hanging. So they're not. But no,
It gets
Nocta
teleported.
has Blood Orb, and Sieko has fucking Narrow's mace.
None of those are the options Sigrun would really go for.
Yeah. If I break the Staff of Elements, it does 1,600 damage to everything with 10. So for a feel of how strong these items are.
You look on at the statues. A moment goes by as you're all contemplating, each individually thinking on what you want to do. You start to see as each of your former party members that have been with you, their spirits slowly start to appear standing around you lot. Key and fucking Durali, you have no idea who all these people are. They're just suddenly appearing in the room.
What? Is that a pink dragon?
To be fair, some of them were famous.
Yeah, you see everyone but Tara and Hawken suddenly appearing amongst the group.
Because fucking soul got eviscerated. Yeah.
Actually, no, it's something else, but that's
Question. Important question.
Yes.
Do they seem to be coming from the brazier?
No,
when they appear around
they
us.
suddenly start to just appear as if phasing in. You see them, and they seem to smile for a moment as they try to interact, or they start to interact with each other, not seeming to sense you or see you guys, but then starting to take notice of the room around them and looking at it, and then seeing you, Sigrun and Lucius. You just start to see them as they smile and get excited and wave to you from the what you assume is the afterlife.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. There's one way that I'm being pulled, and it's not that door.
What is it, my friend?
Lucius is gonna look towards the Great Wolf door.
Great Wolf statue, yeah.
Or statue, yeah. I guess part of me feels that too.
That you are a monster?
In ways.
I'll nod to him and say, alright. And I'll walk closer to a Rotnavengi statue again.
I'm gonna pull my headless amulet off and drop it on the ground in front of me.
Oh.
And then I will reach out to shake Sigrun's hand.
Take it without hesitation.
Well, if this ends poorly, I appreciate all the partnership.
If we die now, you were the greatest companion I've had the pleasure of fighting alongside. And she'll incline her head.
Step towards the Great Wolf statue.
Ooh. Okay. I guess Sigrun will... What is the order they're put in? Is it the order we went through the doors, or are they just lined up randomly?
They are lined up randomly.
I think, unless Key do you want to choose first? I guess not to take spotlight.
No, you can go ahead. I just sent DM what I'm gonna be doing before I make the decision.
Yep.
I guess Sigrun will look between two in particular that call to her the most. Which would be Nadaf and Himkin.
Oh, Trophy and fucking Be the Protector.
She looks at Nadaf and she has a hand on not the new axe, and she in her mind she's reflecting on kind of what she's done and what she is. And although her her motives were not the same, and she didn't feel good in that room. She can't help but like acknowledge that she also isn't so different. And I think she looks at Himkin and recalls that she, like, I believe everyone in the party chose Dragon's Hide, and she kind of reflects upon the vision she saw of her, like, leading her people, of her, like, doing what it takes to give them a better life, which is supposedly what Himkin did for his people. And just kind of takes a moment to debate that, and I think she, damn.
It's protect or take what you want. That's the game here right now.
And the thing is, she did recently go worse in her alignment.
Yeah. Definitely a factor.
I think she just kind of like looks to Key, who's like the only one near her, isn't at a statue, and goes, You know, I thought, I had, well, I suppose I have given up most hope for this world, most things in it, but, you know, I suppose we all try to be good people, and, if I, too, like Lucius, die horribly, and, you survive, since you seem to have a benevolent god, let the stories know that to be good. But let them also know I was badass and I did kill a lot of people. And she kind of like chuckles and will head towards Himkin's statue.
Okay. Alright, and then Key, as you send out, you watch as Sigrun goes and stands in front, and then time seems to freeze for them. You see Lucius kind of running up. Time seems to freeze for a moment. Durali rushes up, and time seems to freeze. You find yourself kind of standing there alone right now. As you kind of look about, Key, at each of the statues, and then you see the ghostly figurines, the translucent figurines of all these strangers you haven't seen before, kind of looking on at you as you take a minute and then cast sending to send this message to your husband. You hear nothing as this spell doesn't go through, and for a moment you have a realization that the only reason that wouldn't be the case is that person is either in an anti-magic field or they are dead.
Oh shit.
As you take a moment and giving a prayer out to your god, you feel the connection to your god weakened extremely, not even feeling the prayer connect. Feeling for a moment, Key, that this is the deciding factor of your life. This will change who you will become. What do you choose?
I'm gonna take the that bag I got off the taxidermied body and hand it to Sigrun as it was related to Himkin.
Okay.
I guess where we're going, I might not need this. But I will head over to to the statues of the 12 Lords and try to think which one best aligns with Key.
You look, you see Zelman Mel's, Belf the Bard, or the Board.
The Bard.
He's a bard. He's got it away with words.
No,
Nadolf.
you're
Fairy, Narrow, the First Son, Blood's End, and Ernst, as you suddenly see the statue of Aingana seems to disappear.
Caleb, I did PM you something if it helps your decision at all. I don't know if it will, but because I know you haven't read about most of the lords, I figured that might help a little bit.
I think, yeah, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't see myself as much of a wizard enough to go with the first son. Fuck. He was not very knowledgeable about anything besides the monster survive, so
Belf is not a great option. So I think I will go with. I'm not going to say that right. The
It's Urist. It's Urist.
Okay, I was going to say Urist.
The black is pure. There's a reason for it. Okay.
The good side of the old High King, quote unquote.
As you start kind of walking forward, give me one moment just to finish up something that I'm typing so I can keep track of this.
I'm really hoping I get like a vision of the other, because they're gonna be like, my successor is a foot tall. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, listen, don't question things. Let me pull the rest of this up.
So, Robert, I think abandoning that amulet, even without making a decision, is still in your best interest.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
I doubt it's even really worked ever since, we interacted with them and then all of that happened.
I think you splitting from Kedlis is just a net positive in this case.
Yeah.
I also
The Young Gods are doing some shit.
I will say, if we want, we could all do a quick line of the drug, because I got
cocaine.
I gotta say what it does.
I mean, I have a vial of Dream Lily.
Say the item. There is an item for it if you want to go and grab it.
So I don't think I've ever actually technically had a vial of Dream Lily, but Lucius just has endless supply.
Tara had given you 10 before she left.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because you liked it, so she handed you a bunch. That was before she ascended.
As each of you kind of finally find yourselves now standing in front of these statues, you start to see the spirits of some of your friends coming forward. First, seeing a foreign creature that none of you have seen before, that kind of catches your attention, that suddenly appears out of nowhere. This giant 12-foot tall, green-skinned, purple clothing with a strange purple mustache painted on. Giant orc comes walking forward and grabs onto Zelman Mel's statue.
Really? That's surprising. Okay.
You see as Durali goes forward, grabbing the statue of Arat Navengi. The creature sorry, give me a second. I'm just pulling up.
Daka picked Zelman Mel's? Interesting.
He's gonna start trying her best.
Oh no.
He's gonna become a wizard.
You see for a moment, well, you don't know if he picked it, that's the thing. You see these spirits kind of doing this as you look side to side. You see Belf the Board suddenly as this strange-looking, masked, well-dressed figure that Sigrun and Lucius you immediately recognize as Carl with his little tortoise comes up and walks up and grabs Belf the Board. And you see Carl kind of reach for it, but the turtle is the one who bites onto the statue as the two creatures reach out their hand. You see Nadov's statue suddenly as this really big, muscular man, Sigrun, suddenly that you recognize immediately as the Pebble, having a giant hole in his chest, coming forward and grabbing hold of Nadov's statue with a giant, monstrous head on his belt, angrily looking at it.
Damn
right. Next, you suddenly see
my friend.
This almost 15-foot tall, demonic blue figure comes forward that suddenly shrinks down into this pale-skinned drow that looks like a fancily dressed bard that kind of comes forward with a strange-looking emblem on his chest that each of you kind of catch out of your side of your eye that looks like a mouth playing with a music note that grabs onto the hold of the Pharaoh's statue. And you see the Forgotten Song's name appear. Next, go ahead.
I would say, wouldn't Key recognize the before drow form?
You can't see through because this is a translucent.
Well, no, because the before drow form's changed.
True. The next one, you see Aingana's statue as this giant pinkish purple dragon comes walking forward, smiling with the biggest, toothiest grin and giving the thumbs up to Sigrun as he grabs hold of Aingana's. You recognize Vormorn in the flesh. grabbing
Hell
hold
yeah.
of the statue. Next, you see as Lucius, of course, grabs hold of the Great Wolf statue, followed by the strange-looking orb that you all recognize to be Nero as this dragonborn Sigrun that matches you in size and girth, and you can sense the battle presence from it as this giant dragonborn with small, very well-defined hands but giant gemstone scales comes walking up and grabs Nero's statue, and almost angrily grabbing it with one hand and seems to kind of freeze suddenly at the same time. And you see the core monarch's name pop up. After that, the first son, you see as Shogun suddenly reappears, and you just see the biggest shit-eating grin on his face as the realization that I am back in business, baby, comes to his mind. You can see the I killed Zilpip and I lived to tell the tale. I win. As he walks forward. Then as you see Blood's End's that symbol of what looks to be a dagger, and then switches back to his lich form as Adrian seems to appear and grab it angrily, glaring at Sigrun and Lucius with just a hatred in his eyes.
That checks it.
And then finally, as Key indecisively running up into the last one, grabs onto the statue of Urist. You each watch for a moment as the statues seem to dissipate in your hands and new statues appear, looking to be exactly like those who grabbed them, reappearing on the pillars. Each of your names and each of your depictions now on there as you start to sense the power coming in within you. As each of you start to grow with more strength and feel this coming into you, you look on as you turn. Lucius, for a moment, it kind of clicks that you just set down Kedlis's medallion, and you see as she stands there. Anger. You can feel as all of you kind of turn and see this, the extreme power coming off of this creature as the room melts away and extreme pressure is put on you as you're sucked out into the darkness of space, Lucius. The rest of the people around you just staring as they can't move watching this, as this creature shows parts of its form of this giant, terrifying, horrific dragon that eats galaxies, as it just angrily glares at you and goes, "You dare to defy me! At this crucial moment, you, a minor cleric that is worth less than the members you followed, you dare to give up everything I've given you. To take me, to not only return my power, but to declare war on me," as she looks you in the eyes, Lucius. Fire glaring, you feel the heat off this creature as it's like the breath is coming into your face. Do you do anything or say anything?
Nope. I just stonewall.
Seconds go by and she just angrily, she just starts, and then suddenly it starts to calm as you see her come back to her normal bearded dwarven giant form. She looks on at you and she goes, "Fine. If you want a war, I'll show you what war is." And she picks up the medallion, and you watch as it slowly melts away. And as seconds go by, she starts to step away, and the room comes back together. And then as she gets ready to dissipate, walking through this arcane gateway that she almost just snaps her fingers and makes appear, you hear in your head, Lucius, for a moment, the screams of every family member and anybody who shares your bloodline. Suddenly, as their agonizing pain is heard, you hear their death screams. And she just turns back as she walks, again, steps up to the arcane doorway, turns back and smiles, and you hear one last word, "There's more to come," as she walks through and disappears.
That bitch.
And as Lucius takes a minute to contemplate that is where we're going to end today's session. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.